Okay, today I'm gonna look at You Can Be the Stainless Steel Rat, written by Harry Harrison, published in, I think, 88, but the copyright information in the book itself says 85. So by Grafton Books, yeah, which is actually an imprint of Collins. Well, a lot of people should know who Harry Harrison is. Yeah, Henry Maxwell Dempsey was born in 1925, and while he was born in the USA, Stamford, Connecticut, he actually lived a long time in Ireland and UK before eventually dying quite close to me in Brighton. That's in August of 2012. He was 87. He was mostly known for his Stainless Steel Rat novels, and novels like Make Room, which was loosely turned into the film Soylent Green in '73. And I say loosely because, yeah, it's more a film set in the world of the book. I mean, the Soylent Green itself is briefly mentioned as being a product in the book, and no connections to what the product actually is, just it is a product. He did a lot of work in the comic book field. He was an editor and a writer for EC Comics, doing things like weird fantasy and weird science and stuff, as well as the Western horror comics. And as well as being an editor and writer, he also did some drawing layouts, which he worked quite a bit with the artist Wally Wood, and Wally Wood would work from his layouts, which is quite a thing, because Wally Wood was a very good artist, but one of these ones known for he's good and he knew it type of thing. He can cause problems. So he also ghost wrote the novel Vendetta for the Saint, and using the name of Leslie Charteris, because Leslie Charteris is the creator of the Saint, and after a few books, the standard pulp stuff, so a lot of them actually ghost written, use his name. He also wrote a number of short stories and other novels, so like Build the Galactic Hero, and in the 50s and 60s, he wrote the Flash Gordon newspaper strip, which is a thing I didn't know at one point. Yeah, A Stainless Steel Rat, which this novel is, or this book is about, in a way, yeah, is James Bolivar de Gris, also known as Slippery Jim. Basically, is one of these moral rogues. That he is a con man and a thief, but like someone like Raffles, he has the thing of he only will steal from people who can afford it. Like, oh, I know these people have got insurance, therefore when I steal it from them, they'll get the money from the insurance agency. They're not really losing anything. Well, I'll lose something, but you know what I mean. But he also ends up getting involved with a number of jobs with the crime fighting Spatial Corps, who basically, well, after instance in the first novel, hire him as a, well, basically an agent for him. Yeah, so not counting this book, he did 12 novels during the series, and they're mostly set in order. But the first, it's more because the first so many were. Then he did a few stories set early days, and then did a few urban places. I think he did a story where basically the character ended up dying. It was actually the end of his life, but I can't remember. Yeah, said one of the stuff coming over the early books was the Stainless Steel Rat is Born in '85, which one thing shows you the whole point of thinking and the correct attitude really at times of Harry Harrison. Whole point that as a young man, said Slippery Jim decide he should meet really big criminals, and how to learn from the master of crime is to get caught and put in prison with all the criminals, only to discover that if they were the really master criminals, they wouldn't exactly be caught and be in the prison. So he didn't have to deal with that fact. So he ends up learning from a guy called the Bishop. Anyway, 2000 AD also did a quite good comic adaptation of the, well, I can say of the first 3 novels, but no, I think it's on like the first, second, and fourth novel. It was, yeah, Stainless Steel Rat Saves the World, and Stainless Steel Rat for President. Kevin Gosnell did the writing of them, adaptation, with Carlos Allegra, well, I can never pronounce his name anyway, was doing the drawing. And in fact, they actually had a printing mistake on the first story, where there's going to be like a first page introduction, and by mistake, that published the last page of that story was the introduction. Harrison himself then sent a letter in to Trinity about this mistake, which they published. Yeah, it said Carlos Legres, he's dead now, but he's a very good artist, I thought. But sometimes his art style has limitations. I mean, yeah, the whole point with Jim Grizz was, well, he drew him looking like James Coburn, which is a pretty good choice. But his idea of drawing him with plastic surgery was like dye his hair and put on a moustache. But it clearly looked like him. It's like, it's the problem when you have some... But it's like if you did a film version and your big star playing the role, but you can't have him change his face and appearance too much because then it wouldn't be the big star playing him. You'd have to get like half a dozen people play him. Which is probably the better way of doing it, but yeah. I mean, yeah, anyway. I also found Carlos Legre couldn't really draw Angela. Basically, his girlfriend slash wife slash... Yeah. It's just his idea of what beautiful woman done. Yeah, it's just personal taste from his art style. Anyway. This novel was actually reviewed in White Dwarf issue 73 by David Langford, who basically said it's a lot of rubbish. Well, so he actually said that Harrison was a talented and able writer, but he couldn't do game books at all, as the story is very linear. There's no way to actually lose, and, well, pretty much it's a straight linear track with the occasional diversion to make it look like, oh, there's other bits around. But not really much on the actual game side. But we can find that out, can't we? So, let's start. Welcome aboard. That's it, step forward, don't be shy. I can't say that we've met before. This organisation gets big all the time. My name is James de Grizz, sometimes called Slippery Jim, or even the Stainless Steel Rat. Or occasionally El Titano de Arcado, or Ratnox. Or, if you haven't heard of me, what the blazes are you doing in the Special Corps? Excuse me, I shouldn't have lost my temper with new recruits. Have a drink, I'll join you. What? You don't drink reconstituted Jovian Lynx bat sweat? What is the corpse coming to? Anyway, you're a strapping recruit. Are the recruits getting younger or am I getting older? Don't answer that. Let's kindly stick to the matter in hand. Which is... I have a note here somewhere. Yes, here it is. Welcome to the Space Corps. Oh, new recruit. You hold in your hand your first assignment as a trainee field agent. This assignment is cunningly designed as a paperback role-playing book, which it is not. I cannot stress that fact too firmly. What appears to be paper is really indestructible impervium. Don't try to tear a page, or it will slice your fingers to ribbons. You have just failed your first test, O potential full field agent, who is now acting like a dumb recruit. You tore the page, didn't you? From now on, you obey orders instantly, without thinking, by reflex, because you're in the corpse now. Turn to 30, now! Yeah, leaving the bit in. Now that's more like it. Should you accept this assignment, you have absolutely no choice in the matter anyway. You'll be transmitted by a newly invented and still not reliable matter transporter to the planet Skalspad. Your task will be a simple one. You will search for and find a certain scientist by the name of Professor Gesselcrank. I think. Yeah. When you find him, just shake his hand while pressing the button on this pocket matter transmitter at the same time. You'll both return here, and that is that. Questions? What do you mean you have questions? No, this is not kidnapping. You might call it a matter of protective custody. It seems that the good professor, besides being as nutty as a bag of cashews, has invented a weapon of such awful destruction that I shiver thinking about it. You better shiver too. That is an order. Good. Because if you don't complete this assignment, it may mean the end of the universe as we know it. Or rather, as I know it, because I know it's a lot better than you do, recruit. So get out there and win. The die is cast, matter transmitters turned on, you're whisked instantly to 42. Yes, so far it's quite linear. Right. But of course it's solid. Well, here you are on Sunny Skullsband. What do you mean that it's miserable and raining and snowing at the same time? We have no wimps in the Special Corps. Do your job and you too will save the universe in the manner made famous by, and I blush to say it, me. Some facts I forgot to mention before we got here. Skullsbad is a prison planet where the dregs of 1,000 worlds are dumped. No, don't press the button in your pocket matter transmitter anymore. It won't work until you have Professor Gastronak, by the hand. And no, you can't have a gun. People can get killed that way, yourself included. You have the equipment I usually carry: smoke bombs, sleep gas bombs, pocket knife, dehydrated alcohol drink, nose filters so you don't sleep gas yourself bye-byes, 5 silver and 5 gold coins, a mini medic, and 2 horror comics for reading when things get dull. So goodbye and good luck. I'll be seeing you again. I hope. Well, oh, new and frightened recruit field agent. I said that I'll be seeing you again, but I bet you won't be seeing me. Complicated? You bet, because that's what life is like. Complicated, I mean. The explanation is this. I am now back in Special Corps main base, with a cool drink in my hand, and my head stuffed in a metal helmet. This helmet is part of a machine called the Interspatial Cortical Interpreter, or ICI for short. No, it is not pronounced icky. Are you a wise guy or something? You better listen closely because, lo, your very existence may depend on the ICI. Here's how it works. I can look through your eyes, see what you see, and give you sage advice. But the decisions are up to you. We shall begin, and you will grow to understand the ramifications and complications of this technique. Right now you are walking along the road towards the woods. The rain has stopped, but it is still windy. Watch out for fallen branches. The path winds away among the trees. The wind is keening through the burrows. Pretty spooky, huh? But it doesn't bother you. No, you're a recruit for the Corps, and you laugh at danger. Speaking of danger, you can stop laughing now. There is movement ahead. Someone is coming. That's it. Stop and wait. Good. A figure appears. And what a figure. A lovely young lady. Now is your chance to show what you are made of. You can bug out of here, or you can smile and speak to her. Choose. I decided to have a little chat. It's a prison planet, which is not exactly a good thing to talk to people, but yeah, you never know. Well, we all make mistakes, and this one was a beaut. Do you wonder why it is so dark? That's because you've been knocked out with a whiff of narco gas. Now open your eyes, and you won't like what you see. That's right, you have handcuffs on your wrists, your ankles are chained together. Admittedly, they're gold chains, but does that help? But wait, the lovely creature who trapped you is speaking. You're new here, aren't you, boy? It's easy enough to tell. Only a newcomer would let anybody get that close. My moniker is Betsy Booster, but you can call me Betsy, like everyone else does. I'm called Booster because I specialise in boosting payrolls. Stealing is what they call it when they finally caught me. Sent me to this prison planet to save society from my sinister influence. Biggest mistake they ever made. I like it here. Life is interesting. I trap new arrivals like you and let them work for me, slave for me, and when they're burnt out husks, I sell them. Haha. And you will work, or else. And don't ask what the or else is. I shudder at the thought. So here we go. This road will take us to Groansville. Duke of Groan is raising an army. I'll get a good price for you. Move it. As you stumble along in your chains, you think how lucky you have been. Yes, lucky. Bessie didn't search you, because convicted prisoners are always sent here empty-handed and unarmed. But not you. That's it. Let your hands slip into your pockets as you walk. Your fingers touch a bomb. Draw it out now. Boom. What kind of bomb did you throw? Here's how you'll find out. To determine the course of future events, you'll need to use an ampibenic bipolar determinator. What, you have never heard of an APB? What is the common term for the ampibenic polar determinator? You've got one right there in your change. Take it out. That's right, a real APB. Yes, alright. It's called a coin too. An even more common term for an APB. The operating instructions are... Oh, you know how to operate an APB. That's right, flip it in the air. Let it land, look at it. Yeah. And I flipped it and it is heads. No, that's tails. Got these stupid modern coins, you can't tell at times. Right, it is tails, so I turn 2. 184. Yeah, so far I've said hello to somebody and been sold as a slave. Yeah, could be better. Well, some days nothing seems to go right. You grabbed a gas bomb alright, but Betsy's a fast girl and seized it and hurried it away. But you were fast too, oh boy. And you took the chance to throw a smoke bomb too, but unhappily, because of your chains, you couldn't escape in the darkness. And Betsy gave you a black eye for your trouble. You're still on your way to Gronesville. But look, there's someone else approaching. What an ugly bloke. Fists like hams, eyes like yams, hair like a lamb's. He may sound edible, but he's still nasty. He's running this way now, waving a club. Betsy's squaring off in a karate fighting stance. There's going to be a battle. They look evenly matched. Say, if you help one of them win, we may get out of this fix. So do something. So, do I help Betsy or do I help the thug? Interesting. I mean, Betsy's trying to turn me as a slave, but she also appears to have a bit of interest, or a bit of knowledge, I don't know, and this other guy, I've got no idea who he is. I'm gonna say I'm gonna help Betsy. I mean, she may have turned me into a slave, but yeah, needs something to do with the hobby. It was quite a battle, but your help turned aside. How the thug screamed and ran away when you bit his ankle. Tasted horrible, didn't it? But enough. Betsy approaches, smiling, reaching for your chains. She speaks. Thanks for nothing, sucker. You're still my slave. Ha ha. Laughing, she pulls you to your feet by the chains and boots you down the road. Are you beginning to regret your decision? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Maybe the ugly thug might have helped you. Betsy certainly didn't. But hark! Is that a noise in the woods? Is someone there? Yes, it is the ugly thug. He has not gone away. You get a second chance. Do you want to take it? Yeah, I'm not quite sure. You could easily be a trap here. I'm gonna... Yeah. Maybe I'm being sold as a slave, but I think I'll at least get somewhere. I'm gonna stay with Betsy. Yeah, bet the devil you know. Yeah. Really, in life, do we get a second chance? You just got a second chance. Go back to the previous section and think again. Yeah, and see what they mean about you don't have much choice there. Basically, that's just saying you, oh, you didn't pick the right one. Try again. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna call out to the thug. It was a tough battle, for Betsy Booster knows how to fight. But your bite on her ankle gave the ugly mug the edge, and she has now fled into the woods. The brute turns to you, scowling and growling, lifting his club, and you have second thoughts. Too late, he speaks. Oh, thank you, gentle person. I come to your aid to free you, and you must have divined my motives. He throws his club aside and snaps your chain like threads. I am Abanoff, the rejected, led to a life of crime because the world has rejected me, sent to this prison planet for crimes too unspeakable to speak about. Only you have ever befriended me, and I shall not forget that. Go in peace, dear friend, and feel that you can always count on Abanoff for aid. After these kind words, you will enjoy waving goodbye to the dear fellow. Dark, dark forest. Deep forest. Hey, that sounds kind of familiar. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. Yes, that's from a poem. Yes, it is, written back on dirt or earth or whatever it's called. Do you know who wrote it? Well, it's asked me, do I think it was Robert W. Service, or if you're sure it's written by Robert Frost? Oh, God, I know the poem, yes. Well, I know it's written by Robert. Yeah, well, I'm going for Robert Frost, because I'm pretty sure it was nothing to do with the Frost Report. Well, it is still pretty dark in the woods, but at least you don't have to worry anymore about poetry. Walk carefully now, who knows what evil lurks among those trees. What's this? The road divides into four ahead. That is surely an oddball way of laying out roads. Oh well, decisions. Hope you haven't forgotten your mission. You should get to Gronesville to get information about Professor Grantstack. Am I pronouncing that name differently each time? Oh. But which road should you take? Don't ask me, I'm as new to this broken down planet as you are. But hark, footsteps approach. That's it, hide behind the bush. You're learning fast. It's an old man leaning on a staff. Maybe you should have a staff like that yourself. Come in handy. With all the bashing about here. That's it, dig in your pocket. Get your pocket knife out. So, do I want to use the pocket knife to cut the staff? Or use the knife as a weapon? I'm gonna try using it as a weapon. Because, yeah. Some people just never learn. Violence doth breed violence. Yea, verity. The little old man was so frightened by your knife that he bashed you over the head and fled. Remember, this planet is covered with convicted criminals, so anyone with a weapon will be considered an attacker. That's it. Look sheepish and put the knife away. No, hold it. Cut the staff first. That will give you protection without appearing to be threatening. Okay, I've just realised the problem I made. It's not cut the staff, it's cut a staff. I should have read that better. I thought you wanted to nick the guy's staff. So the choice was either to cut that staff, which I thought would be pointless, or to... yeah. Oh well. Finished? Good. Since you have frightened off the only help you have had, why don't you just... well, you just have to guess which road to take. So I can go north, east, south or west. Yeah, I'm gonna try north. What's that ahead? If my eyes don't deceive me, there is a walled city come up ahead. And if you listen close, you can hear distant groaning. This could only be Groansville. That wall will be difficult to climb, but you could always go in through the front gate. What about the armed guards there? You might very well ask. What about them? It's your decision. I'm just along for the ride. If you want to take a chance on the gate, or do I want to try and climb the wall? Well, there may be a prison planet, but I'm going to try the gate. Won't you ever learn? Stay away from people on this planet. No good can ever come of meeting them. The guards simply grab you and throw you into this prison cell. You end up a slave for life if you don't get out of here. That's it, dig through your pockets. You didn't bring all that expensive field equipment for nothing. No, not the horror comic, this is not the time for reading. The guy will be here soon. He's unlocking the door now. Choose quickly. Smoke bomb or gas bomb? I'm gonna try gas bomb because I think I'm so tied up, aren't I? That hurt, I know. Believe me, I feel really sorry for you. Even though I feel nothing myself. Look, we all make mistakes. I might even have done the same thing. Very few people in this galaxy are immune to my sleep gas bombs. In fact, that thug is the only one I've ever met. Just wait until the doors open again. This time you'll just have to use a smoke bomb that will take you inexorably to next section. Yeah, I'm really getting the idea that it's enjoyable, but it's forcing you along this path. Well, the ruse seemed to work that time. The guard is screaming and thrashing about in the smoke. He sounds angry, but he left the cell door open. You're getting the idea. Crawl out on your hands and knees. Feel your way down the hall. The smoke's filling that now. Run. It's a long hall, isn't it? So why are you stopping? Oh, you hear voices. And there they are, 6 soldiers, all heavily armed. You'd better throw a gas bomb and go to one section. Or should you throw a smoke bomb? I'm going to try a smoke bomb this time. Won't you ever learn? Stay away from people on this planet. No good can ever come of meeting them. The guards simply grab you and throw you into this prison cell. You end up a slave for life if you don't get out of here. Yep, so I'm just looped back to this bit. That's it, dig for your pockets. You didn't bring all that expensive field agent equipment for nothing. No, not the horror comic, there's not time for reading. The guy will be here soon, he's unlocking the door. Choose quickly. Yeah, there's nothing the review said, there's some loops at times. So yeah, since I didn't do the right choices, it's looped me back to do the right choices again. Yeah, fair enough, but yeah. Well, the route seems to work that time. The guard is screaming and thrashing about in the smoke. He sounds angry. But he left the cell door open. Again. You're getting the idea. Crawl on your hands and knees. Feel your way down the hall. Smoke's filling out. Run now. It's a long hall, isn't it? Why are you stopping? Oh, you hear voices. And there are 6 soldiers, all heavily armed. See, now, I think I'll throw a gas bomb this time, because when I threw the smoke bomb, it didn't work. And I also got the feeling that I'm not still tied up. In fact, it's probably the ugly thug that untied me. Makes sense, actually. I can understand you being a little bitter, but did you have to walk on top of unconscious bodies? What do you mean, shut up? Is that a way to speak to your superior officer? What are you doing now? Anne. So, an open window. Anne? A careful look outside, no one in sight. A quick drop to the ground. Now, whistling casually, you stroll out into the busy castle yard. What next? A lot of nice looking people. There's a few that don't look like criminals. The small boy and the old lady. Do you want to talk to one of them? Why not? See, this is tricky. Don't look like criminals. Well, they are clearly criminals. The small boy is a possibility of not. So I've got a choice. Do I want to whisper to the kid, or if I'm partial to old ladies? I'm going to try the kid because I've got the most choice and if I have to pick one of them. Why does the kid look so frightened and shy away from you? Have you bathed lately? No? That is not the reason you believe. It is because this is a world of violence and everyone's afraid of everyone else. Not a very profound observation, but you're probably right. So what do? Play the role like everyone else and twist the kid's arm so he'll tell you where to find Professor Gauschneck? Or do you want to bribe him with a small coin? Well, I could attempt to bribe him, but I got a feeling he might do that, or... problem is, if I twist his arm, he will scream. I'm gonna try and bribe him. Because, yeah, bribery. Apparently it always works. The bribe seems to have worked. The instructions were clear enough. Turn right here, then turn left, and you're walking right into the arms of guards. You're really sort of angry. They grab you and hustle you off. Guess where they just hustled me off to? Yeah. Apparently I've been too nice to the kid. Because I'm back in the prison cell. I'm not going to be dissecting him, but I'm back in the prison cell. Right. So I have to use a smoke bomb. And from that I will use a gas bomb. From that I will attempt the little kid again. But this time I'm going to twist his arm. You're a bit of a sadist, aren't you? Yes, I understand you weren't before you came to this pesky planet. But at least the arm twist seems to have elicited some response. Let us hope that it is the right one. Over the castle wall, south on the road, then look for a crossroads with a sign pointing towards Hasseltot. Hasselot. Or Hasselot. Hastelot. That's where the professor is supposed to hang out. There's the crossroads now, but there's also a sign pointing to Srenlot. Now the point is, should you believe your torture extracting confession? So I've got a choice. Do I believe what the kid said after torturing him, or do I go to the other town instead? So do I want to go to Hastelort or Schweinlort? Yeah, he's good at these sci-fi names that can't really be pronounced, or at least not by me. Yeah, I don't know. In a way, a kid will say anything to get out of it, but at the same time, you might go looking for him, so you might, I'm gonna trust the kid was right. That's it, right up ahead, the fine old country seat of Hasselort. No, it's not. The tattered sign says Schweinlot, which means the road signs have been turned around. So, what do? Go ahead to this filthy place, or go back and try the other road? I'm gonna go ahead. The might have got to the other place then. The sign that changed the signs annoying, isn't he? Enough is enough for it already yet. The signs have been changed. You should have gone to Ubbit. So don't waste time, get there now. Yeah, again, this is forcing me what direction I have to take. It's one... Yes. See, these days, they'd be called a rail game. It's like you had rail shooters. Where basically, the game moves you in a direction and a path and you just point out. Trying to think some good rail shooters. House of the Dead wasn't too bad. I think they released the home version on Saturn. House of Dead 2, they released the home version on the Dreamcast. What was that? There's a really nice one for the Cumber thing. But I also think things like Dynamite. Oh, it's not Dynamite Cup. Dynamite Cup is a really nice beat 'em up. Virtual Cop. That's right, part of the Ian Freeze lot. Yeah, that's a nice rail shooter. And you also have things like Universal did a lot of rides, like Battle Galactica ride. We sat on it and going for as you go for the ride, there's a story where Cylons invade, what's called Cylon Attack. And I think they still do the same thing nowadays, but it's a kind of thing. You're on the real path to go. No, don't turn away and run. The sign says Hesseltort, but it doesn't look that great. Still, you're not going to set up housekeeping here. All you need to do is get some information on the whereabouts of the evil Professor Gushtak. But take some precautions for a change, won't you? I can't feel all the knocks in your head that you've had, but looking through your eyes gives me the impression that they're pretty bloodshot. See the nice tavern up ahead? What does the signboard read? The Hanging Copper. My. Along with a nice painting of a blue-coated minion of justice swinging from a gibbet. From a giblet. Giblet or gibbet? Gibbet. No, it's not a bad omen. Don't get chicken now. You really can't expect denizens of a prison planet to love the law. Push on. If you go in for calling beer, or if you're getting tired of taking chances, maybe you ought to see if anyone comes out. I'm going to try and go in for a beer, because if there's a tavern then I think it's probably going to be... Well, they're going to want some kind of business. You walk casually into the bar and discover that the revelry you heard was really the sound of 4 thugs beating up on the tavern keeper. They look at you and shake their clubs menacingly. You look at them and quickly make your mind up. You can stay out of trouble by leaving, or you can sort things out by flipping the gas bomb. I'm going to try a gas bomb, see if I... Not so much to make a friend, but to make somebody who owes me. Well done. They all went nighty-night when the bomb went off, and by the time they woke up, you had bound them with their own belts. You also collected 6 knives, 2 guns, a club, some chewing gum, a calendar filled with nudes, as well as a morning star, and 6 copper coins. All of which you gave the innkeeper when he came to. He is pathetically grateful when he speaks. Oh, good Samaritan, never did I think I would ever see a helpful deed done on this pestilential planet. Pestilence thing, okay. For your future safety, I will now give you my invisibility belt, which has 3 charges left in it. Just press the buckle and twist, and you will be invisible for 3 minutes each time. You're touched by his goodwill. Buckle the belt on, but before you leave, you ask him if he has heard of Professor Gushtak. He nods and murmurs his answer. The whole world knows this mad genius. He is in the employ of Hairy Harry, the killer cannibal. Hairy Harry is the master of Crapper's Castle, once the demise of the noble breed of sanitary engineers who flushed with pride no more. All have been consumed with relish, and their bones bleached in the sun without. Stay away, I beg of you, but if duty calls, then you must away. You're on the road again. You have eaten and drunk well, and following instructions, you're on the lookout for the hanging bridge across Death Valley. In its noisome depths runs a poisonous rattlesnake river. There it is ahead, but oh horrors, the planks are decayed and broken, and might break under your weight. But see, there's a path to the river bank, where a boatman waits. Decide the boat, or do you want to take chances on the bridge? I'm going to try the boat. Again, the boatman is going to want you to go. Yes, the gold coin seems dear for a ride in this crummy boat, but look at the alternative. No, don't look at the shore. You have averted your eyes from the evil boatman and he is attacking, trying to steal your money. Ouch, that must have hurt. No, don't back away. Splash. Yes, indeed, you have fallen into the river. I've fallen in the water. It's a good thing that you can swim. No, don't panic, it's just a swimming rattlesnake. And there is another one. Who do you think they named this river after? You are a fast swimmer, aren't you? Particularly when competing in a race with snakes. Going to go ashore? Yes, but where? A nice little beach there, but hurricanes could be hiding in the shrubs. Might be better off landing on the rocks. Difficult and dangerous, but no shrubs. Don't want the beach or the rocks. I'm going to try the rocks. I'm probably going to regret. That was rough, but you did it, and I'm proud of you. Don't curse, I heard that. And don't mutter about some doing all the work while others doing all the talking. Good. Joke a bit. That'll help you dry off. Trot round the bend. Oops. Yes, he does look tough. But you're tough too. Time for your, well, I'm not going to bother to try and pronounce again, or APB, as it is called for short. Or coin as you insist on calling it. Let's see if this is heads or tails. It's tails again. Have I got two tailed coin? My, you are strong. You won the fight easily with a 1-2 knockout punch. Slow down, swing round the bend. Yes, indeed. Can it be? It must be. The shining white walls of Krappus Castle. The gate yawns wide, beckoning. But you shake your head on. You shake your head no. You have learnt your lessons well. Wait until dark, then scale the wall. You could have picked a better place to climb the wall. You land right in front of enlisted torturers' mess, and they are a tough bunch. Bang, crash, and they have you, and you have no recourse but to turn to the next section. Unhappily, another fight has been lost. You are bound and thrown to the floor of Krappus Castle. Hark, someone is coming. They drag you to your feet and down the hall. How lonesome. Hairy Harry, the killer cannibal, sits before you on a throne made of human bones. Neato. How many poor souls he must have consumed. He wears no clothes, for his long curly red hair with which he is covered conceals his vile form well enough. He speaks in an evil voice, redundant of kitchen ladles and garbage can lids. Ho ho ho! What have we here? A toothsome morsel indeed. Off to the kitchen with him. But before the order can be obeyed, a skinny grey-haired man strides in, a monocle tucked into one eye. It's Professor Greshnak. He speaks. Ach, all you think of is your rambling rum, Hairy Harry. I need a volunteer for a hideous experiment. Let me have this one. Some prospect. Out with your trusty APB. Let's see. See, it's tails again. Heads go to the professor, tails to the stove. Life can be like that sometimes. Yes, I would expect too in your circumstances. Not much you can do with 4 uglies carrying you, is there? My, such language. In the kitchen, you look at the size of that black pot on the fire. Looks like they're going to pluck you. Undress you. Before they throw you into the boiling water, you're hurled to the ground. 2 thugs pull at your boots. I was hoping that you'd think of that. Invisibility. Press the buckle. That was neat, the way you kicked each one in the head with a boot that they were pulling. Look at those gaping jaws. Right, creep aside quick while they are groping around in the spot where you used to be. Quietly tiptoe out the room and down the hall. Faster now, for in a few seconds the child will be gone and you'll be visible again. There you go. Cursing again. Yes, I see them now. Guards filing down the hall ahead. The stoop up behind. Have you looked down? You have. You've seen the handle too. Quick, lift it quickly. They see you now. Only darkness beneath the trapdoor, but not much choice is there. That's it. Jump down. Darkness engulfs you as you slide down the slippery rock tube. Faster and faster. Kind of fun, isn't it? Really, you don't think it's fun? And there you go, cursing again. Hark, is that water we hear? It must be. Still wrapped in Stygian darkness, you shoot through the air. Take a deep breath. That's the way, and splash. You fall into an underground river. Very good. Swim up. You don't have much choice. Yes, you can suck in some air now. You're being carried downstream. About all you can do is tread water and hope for the best. Yes, that is light ahead. You're out in the sunshine now. Isn't that a decrepit bridge we pass under? Looks familiar. So's the shoreline. If you're tired, that little beach would be a good spot to go ashore. Or you could land on those rocks. Or if neither place pleases you, you can just hang in there until you're swept down the bend and come ashore at a sandbar. I'm going to try the sandbar because I'm in blooping again. Of course, I know that you are tired, so a small rest is in order. Better now? Push on up the hill to the path. This should lead back to Crapper's Castle. But you'll be a little more careful this time. Just 2 invisibility charges left on the belt, you know. Hush, thrashing and crunching from round the bend. If you have enough bashing about for a bit, you can turn off the path and creep stealthily away. However, if you want to see what's happening, you can peek around the corner. Yeah, I'm going to be an idiot and peek around the corner. Horrors, a great brute with a club. It can only be Sudru, the slaver. And beside that, look at that row of chained slaves. I remember when he was sent to this prison planet for crimes too hideous to mention. He has beaten that guy on the ground. But look, that's no ordinary guy. There could not be 2 faces in the galaxy as ugly as that. It is Arpanoff the Rejected who befriended you. Friendship demands you return. That's it. Call to Sudru. Again, these names. Insult him. Not hard to do with anyone who looks like that. He roars with rage and runs at you, waving the bloodstained club. Your nerve is cool as you slip the little devices into your nostrils. He roars closer and you can feel his hot breath upon you. Smell it too. Ugh. Now, at the very last moment, you snap a gas grenade under his nose and step away from his fallen body. Here the slaves cheer with you at the brute's downfall. They cheer you as their saviour. You have the decency to blush. Afnot speaks. Saved again. How can I ever thank you? I will do anything for you. All here are you willing servants, but ask us and we do obey. That sounds like an offer you can't refuse. So make up your mind and turn to the next section. Your plan has been accepted. Nay, not only accepted, but cheered by your followers. All of them have lost dear friends to the voracious appetite of Hairy Harry the Killer Cannibal. They wish to end his vile gastronomic career. All of them are also hardened criminals, or they wouldn't be here, would they? They welcome the chance to turn the tables on Hairy Harry. Dinner tables, of course. And loot his castle as well. Giving you the chance to grab the evil professor and finish this case. A simple plan. It should be a good one. Sudru the slaver roars with anger when he comes to, but he is chained with the other slaves and happily beaten into submission by his former beaties. You are chained too, at the front, while Abnoth leads the way in the guise of slave master. Up the hill to Crapper's Castle. Your happy band of slaves wins its way to the castle gate. They wipe the smirks from their faces and try to look enslaved as they approach the guards at his gate. Sudru starts shouting a warning, but he is dropped by Abnoth's ready club. The assistant guards roar with laughter at this, and you try a 6 mile yourself. The slaver enslaved. They really are like that. All except the sergeant of the guard. He is so tough that he has sewn these strips to his bare skin. And that's pretty tough indeed. Something doesn't smell right to him, though all you can smell is the odour to your unwashed slave. He strides forwards. You craftily take out your APB, or coin as you insist on calling it. Give it a quick toss. Over its heads, he voices his suspicions, or else he opens the gates. It's tails again. I'm really worried about this coin now. Once more through the bone-littered halls to the throne room. Hairy Harry belches approvingly at the sight of the slaves. A Peregrinian pantry. Oh God. Peregrinating pantry to him. But what a surprise he has in store. As Afnoth belts him with the club, you and all the others cast off your chains. While they beat up on the surprised guards, you dart after Professor Gauschnack. He sees you and curses in the guttural language. Which is just as well you don't understand, because I do and it's pretty nasty stuff. Darts away. After him, across the throne room, through the door, curses, he slammed it in your face. Do you search for a key by going to one section, or do you grab an iron club and see if you can break the door down? I'll see if I break the door down. Thud, crash, and the door splinters beneath your mighty blows, falling to tiny splinters at the strength of your attacks. You step through the ruins, taking the iron-bound club as a wise precaution, and at once face a problem. The whole branch into 3. What do you do? Don't ask me, this is your case. Ready? You can go left, or straight ahead, or right. I'm going to try straight ahead. The hall winds away through the repellent palace. Bones everywhere. Hungry Harry sure was hungry. Was that the slam of door ahead? Run on. Yes, there it is. And scarcely breaking pace, you bash the door down and leap through, club ready. There he is, your quarry, the mad professor. After him, he darts for another door and you follow. He is escaping across the castle roof after having jumped an air shaft. If that old nutter can do it, so can you. Gather your strength and jump. Made it. You are safe on the rooftop and pelting after the professor, waving your club over your head and crowing with victory. He stumbles and falls. He is yours. You'll grab him now and save the galaxy and take him to prison and go home and have a hot bath and all kinds of nice things like that. Except that he is sitting up and pointing a large and evil-looking gun at you. He speaks. Advance one step more and I will pull the trigger and that will be the end of you, Dummkopf. Yeah, really get the German vibe here. Quite a position to be in. If you attack in any case, go to one section. If you hesitate, go to another section. Yeah, tricky. I'm gonna try this jumping him. Attack! Oh, you are a reckless one. Straight at the gun. Too late, the trigger figures times and he cackles one last cackle as a cloud of gas bursts your face. You fall into dizzy darkness. You regain consciousness alone on the rooftop. The first show of evil has gone. You have no choice. The pursuit must go on. You drag one weary foot after another through the turret door, and henceforth to the next section. Yeah, a lot of this is just basically researching goodness. What is that? Oh horrors! He has a balloon in the courtyard, and he is in the basket, cutting the rope that holds it down. Now, when he is distracted, run. The balloon is rising. You jump, grab. Yes, you have it. You cling fiercely to the rope as the balloon sails high into the sky. All the professor has to do is look over, and he will see you. But he does not. He is humming an obscene song and crunching something. Chicken bones drop by you. The fiend's having lunch where your hands grow stiff and cold. You breathe softly lest he hear you. When will this end? You know, I'm interested too. At once, while you still have strength in your fingers, then the next section. You have very strong hands, but even you feel your grip weakening. Things don't look too good. But there, up ahead, a storm cloud. We are drifting towards it. Up beneath it, and it is pouring with rain. That is good news, even if you don't believe it. With the cloud blocking the sun, and the rain cooling the balloon, the gas inside is cooling down, so the balloon is dropping. Your voyage may be at an end soon. Sooner than you think, Professor Grashnak leans over the side to look at the ground, and he has seen you. Donnerwetter. Gestinkelbots. He curses terribly, and you see that he has a knife to cut the rope you are hanging from. If you wait, hopelessly, for your certain end, turn to one section, or climb the rope to grapple with the nutter. I'm going to climb the rope to grapple with the nutter. There's some days, nothing you do turns out right. Before you get close enough, the professor cuts the rope, and screaming hysterically, or falling in grim and noble silence, you go to the next section. The rope is cut. You fall. Is this the end? No, for there is a lake below. Though while it is small and filled with stingrays, it is nevertheless big enough for you to break your fall. Splash. You are down. The first stingray zeroes in on you, splashing their sting against the water with vicious smacks. To the left, the shore is close and muddy. To go there, go to one section. Or to reach the distant sandy beach, go to the next section. I'll go to the close and muddy one. It's closer. Well, we all make mistakes. Mud turns out to be quicksand. So you can't get out this way. You had no choice but to brave the splashing stingrays and go to the other one. Yeah. Safely ashore, you kick the last of the stingrays back into the lake and look for the balloon. There it is, sinking lower. It is down. Run, don't walk. It will help you dry off. You see the collapsed balloon and grow wary. After all, the professor still has that gun. You must circle the balloon stealthily, either upwind to the right by going to one section, or downwind to the left. I'm going to go to the right. As quiet as a mouse you creep, holding your breath, wishing that you still had the ironbound club with you. But that is long gone. All you have now are your guts, your strength, and all the other items in your pockets. Something stirs. You stop. Nothing, just the wind flapping the fabric of the balloon. You go forward again, and there before you, you see a rather undramatic row of footprints in the sand. First has gone. You had no other choice. You must follow him. You are tired, but you press on, never losing sight of the footsteps. They go straight to the horizon, then over the horizon, and when you follow them some more, you discover that they lead straight to an immense portal in the wall of a giant ancient building. It does not look nice at all, for it is covered with obscene carvings and hideous monster representations, countless number of them stretching out to each side as far as the eye can see, and the footsteps go straight into the opening. Why did you stop walking? Ah, I see. A message carved in letters 30 centimeters high in the wall beside the entrance. Most interesting. What do you mean you can't read it? It is Esperanto, a language spoken by everyone. See? Oh God, let's see if I can remember my Esperanto well enough. Vi abates de la porto de la tierra del... No, I'm not sure enough. When this mission is over, you are ordered to learn Esperanto at once. If you're not quite sure about Esperanto, since I've not had many comments to make so far, it was a language invented to be a new universal language. Because, well, okay, you got the English who basically want to speak English. You got the French that want to speak French. You got the Spanish that want to speak Spanish. The Japanese are apparently quite good at speaking English. I mean, like their air traffic control, they'll speak English first. Even the Japanese pilots, yeah. But anyway, all different countries want to speak their own language. So to make business properly, I mean, these days you mostly treat either English or Chinese as a universal language. But they try to create a third-party language that be completely non-country based. This would be our universal language, Esperanto. A couple of sci-fi things actually used Esperanto. Again, Harryhausen featured it quite heavily in Celestial Rat. Red Dwarf used it quite a lot in the better early series. In fact, every level of the ship had it written in English and Esperanto. And they had the whole thing about learn Esperanto and all that stuff. And Harryhausen did it quite a bit. But Esperanto never really took off. My personal view is because it's basically Spanish. No, it's not actually Spanish. But you look at Esperanto, look at Spanish, there's huge similarities. I mean, Esperanto is very Spanish-sounding language and very Spanish-like. And I think people did bother. I mean, you can still buy books in Esperanto, and modern books they do translations into Esperanto. But it's just never really taken off. I mean, I can say... I can roughly read some Esperanto, but not really translate it. Not very well, though. And the only words I can think of that I know what I mean would be like Nivelo, which just means level, as in floor. Again, Red Dwarf. Level so-and-so. No, yeah. Anyway. It reads, in translation of course, you have arrived at the gates of the frightful... the prison of the monstrous star beast. Be warned, to enter here means certain death. We, the ancient race of Kakarloks, have built this prison to save the galaxy from this creature, and little thanks we got, because building this bankrupted our ancient race, and we are now all dead, so to hell with you anyway. You're impressed by this, as well you might be, and you're instantly faced with the realization that you must follow the Professor into this place. You have the choice of turning to one page or taking a little rest first. I'm just going to carry on. With dragon steps, you enter the alien artifact. All is strange. The floor is hard to the touch, yet is springy as turf. An alien mystery. The walls, which are soft to the touch, yet are not springy at all, glow with a nacresis light. Why are you stopping? You want to know what nacresis means? The dictionary will tell you. We must press on. Nacrocious illumination casts nacrocious shadows on all sides, making it difficult for you to see where you're going. But there's something ahead. Mysterious and alien. Indeed, what a strange race there must have been. Oh, Nacrocious, if I'm pronouncing that right, basically means like a Nacrush, which is a mother of pearl. So kind of basically pure pearl. So basically it means it's very pearl-like, pearlescent. No? If you didn't know that. There are what appears to be 4 ways to proceed, and none look attractive. Is that writing? Where? There. Ah, yes. Boom writing with a cheap felt pen. And I recognise the style. It is the professor's. He is making notes, perhaps to help him find his way. At the edge of this hole in the floor, with the fireman's pole in the middle, he has written 105. The slime-covered, cold and repulsive stairway in the cold wind blowing down is labelled 47. While the dark tunnel, so low one would just have to crawl, has a shaky 123 next to it. And look! Just like an airport, a moving walkway with a triumphant 66 on it. What do you do? Which did he take? He could have lied with the labels. Over to you for decision. Yeah, basically he's labelled a bunch of... yeah. I'm just going to go for the 66. Very nice. Quite comfortable, in fact. Though this moving walkway seems to go on forever. Yes, sitting down is a good idea. But why are you starting to sweat like that? Stand again. Look ahead. I'm afraid I see that too. This moving trap goes downwards and ends in a pool of molten lava. That's it. Start walking back. You can make it. This thing doesn't move very fast. Thank you for correcting me. It didn't used to move very fast. It speeds along now. The air's getting hotter. And the lava closer. Then you spot it. A tiny stone platform in the lava. Your only chance. Run forward. Faster and faster. Then leap. Phew. Made it. Landed and skidded, but you didn't fall in. But you can't stay here very long. Look around. Dash the perspiration from your eyes until you can see the layout. 2 tiny crumbling ledges on the far side of the lava pool. What a choice. Glad it's yours and not mine. So, before you fry, do you jump to the left or to the right? I'm going to go to the left. Like a bird you soar. Up, up and away. Isn't that more Superman? And land with a crashing thud on the ledge which begins to break away from the rock wall behind it. You really do move quite fast when you want to, leaping, scrambling and cursing when a drop of lava lands sizzling on your leg. You dance along the collapsing rock towards a gaping tunnel entrance and simply hurl yourself to the next section. At least that is behind you. Scramble into the tunnel and take 10. That's it. Breathe deeply. This alien artifact is dangerous enough. I only hope that the professor was as fast on his feet as you are. Rested? Right, carry on. Not much choice here. Straight on down the tunnel. Why are you stopping? I can see now the tunnel ends ahead. Slowly and carefully now, peering out with extreme caution. Looks clear enough, but counting on past experiences, you can't trust a thing in this ancient prison built by long dead Kakalocks. An empty room, a single exit, and a pointing arrow with the sign. A la Sebesto. That's simple enough. To the Star Beast. Imprisoned millions of years ago. Should be safe enough with the beast long dead. See what I mean about San Spanish. Allah. Aula. And Stabesto. Stabesto is, yeah. Again, really simple language, but yeah. It's designed to be simple language. Yes, I heard that too. It did sound just like a giant bestial roar. Probably just the ground settling. Don't think about it. All you can do now is shoulders back, walk proud, into the tunnel. Nothing to fear here. A nice stroll down this softly lit tunnel. Yes, the carvings on the wall do seem a bit repulsive, with those monsters eating other monsters. Eyes front. Best not to dwell on that sinister horror. Aha! The tunnel widens, then ends. There's one set of steps leading down, labelled Star Beast here. And more steps leading up with a sign saying, Safe way out. You better decide. Are they lying or truthful? Yeah, Star Beasts, do I agree with that or not? I think they're lying because it's not exactly in. Oh, it's in English, isn't it? Not Esperanto. So I'm going to go the one down that says Star Beast here. Why should they lie at this stage? Down the stairs you go, happily jumping two at a time, and there, ahead, seems safe, another room ahead. Peek in. Well, it looks harmless enough. A nice little well-lit chamber, a comfortable chair on wheels, the wheels on tracks leading through the tunnel to glorious sunshine, and another sign that reads, in translation of course, unhappily the Star Beast is dead, but thanks for coming. Please sit in this comfy chair, press the button and you'll leave. Have a safe journey. I agree, you can't trust a Kakalok, can you? You can sit in the comfy chair and press the button, or creep by it and walk down the tracks. Decide. I'm actually gonna sit in the comfy chair, because I've seen Monty Python. Fetch the comfy chair! That's it, get into the chair and sit down. Persian planets, the seat has dropped open, and you are falling. Fall in. Right down, to another section. You slide down and shoot. Shoot through the air and land on a soft mattress that emits a large cloud of dust. When you finish sneezing and dash the tear from your eye, you see that you are in an immense chamber, and there, right before your eyes, is Professor Gauschnack. He is locked in a cage and looking fiercely unhappy. To you, he never looked better. You open your mouth to speak, but before you do, there is an immense roar behind you and a blast of hot air. You whirl around and see a hideous, giant, scaly-winged dragon just a few feet away. You reel back as another blast of flaming dragon halitosis blasts out. The dragon fixes its nostrous little red eyes on you, opens its smoke-stained jaws and speaks. Well, look what we have here. Another little squishy mammal, just like the one in the cage. You look good enough to eat, dearie. But must control my appetite. Look, be a nice creature and shove a few bucketfuls of coal into my mush before the fire goes out. You have little choice. You take the shovel from the coal bin beside you. The creature opens its ugly gaping mouth, and you shovel like crazy. You are dripped with sweat before it belches a cloud of smoke and coal gas and signals enough with a wave of its claws. That will do nice. It burps. If you are hungry too, just help yourself to a little nosh on the table over there. Since you never argue with a dragon, you turn to the table to see 2 slices of cake, 1 chocolate and 1 coconut. As you look at them, Professor calls out, thrash drinking, dump and cough. The beast means to kill you. The chocolate is poisoned and the coconut contains brain-destroying drug. Do you listen to him and don't eat? Or do you ignore the fiend and fear not the poison and eat the chocolate? Or if you feel your mind has already been destroyed by this world, in any case, not from the coconut. Yeah, I'm going to try the chocolate cake. Tastes good. Professor's obviously full of crap. You finish this, and the coconut as well. And then you turn back to the dragon. The dragon nods approval and speaks. You are for wiser, O blood-filled mammal, than this idiot here, who just screamed at me until I had to throw him into a cage. Now hear this. I am the Star Beast, trapped here millennia ago by the evil Kakanoks. Again, I'm changing their pronunciation all the time, but don't know. But they are all dead, and good riddance. I could leave now, but I kinda got used to the place after the first million years. I have colour TV, a good supply of coal, a big potty. So what the hell? I can also read minds. Professor wants to blow up the universe, which, since I live in it, I'm kinda against. Well, you want to bring him to justice, which is okay by me. But you get him and get out of here only if you can answer my riddles. If you don't want to play, I eat you right now. Ready? Yeah, some big choice. You nod with reluctance. The great Star Beast riddle session begins now. Answer quickly or you become breakfast. Who is buried in Grant's tomb? General Grant makes the most sense, but I don't think Grant is buried in Grant's tomb, is he? Things like Ulysses S. Grant was Grant's tomb? Yeah, I think it's like Ulysses S. Grant. Well, I may forget about him, he's a heavy drinker. I start off easy, the starbase belches forth. Now the big one. What is black and deadly and sits in a tree? But you think you know, turn to this one section. If you said a crow with a machine gun, you score 13 points. If you got it wrong, you score nothing. Now listen, he who breathes forth flame speaks again. Next shot. What happens when you cross an elephant with a jar of peanut butter? Think hard. Elephant crossed with a jar of peanut butter. Do you get a smashed jar? If you answer an elephant that sticks to the roof of your mouth, you've scored 25 points. You jump as there's a roar of flame, and this booms out. An easy one. Now here is the one that will have you on the ropes. What is the lamb shift? Laughing at the simplicity of the answer, turn to the next lesson. If you answer that it is a displacement between two levels of hydrogen, which in the absence of radioactive creations would be 0 due to the combined degeneracy, score 1,356 points and go majestically to 229. If you answer something with a different kind of degeneracy, creep to another one. Yeah, I'm creeping because I didn't get that right at all, because of course I bloody didn't. The starbase is getting bored with this, and Professor's fallen asleep in his cage. And you wish that you were someplace else, but you stare to life when the beast speaks. Kinda weak on old physics, aren't you? How is your chemistry? Listen carefully to this poem. Little Lucy in the lab lies dead upon the floor, for what she thought was H2O was H2SO4. Got that? Now the question is, what is H2SO4? And if any of you listening don't know what H2SO4 is, well, H is hydrogen. You've got that bit. SO. SO. Well, the O is to do with technically oxygen, because, well, H2SO4 is sulfuric acid. Yeah, she thought it was water, and it turned out to be sulfuric acid. You'd really smell that. If you said sulfuric acid, score 578 points and go at once to 229. But hark, it speaks. If I didn't get it right, it would say, one last chance, dumb squishy one. What important event occurred in 1066 AD? Old dirt time, which was a damn long time ago. Well, I can tell you exactly that. I live in bloody Hastings. Yeah, I think it's something I know quite well. But I got it right anyway with sulfuric acid. So, ha 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 ha. All of this has bored the starbeast, and has fallen sound asleep, and snoring out clouds of smoke. You also note that Professor Gushnak was only feigning sleep on his part, and has really been working to open the cage, and has done so, and has escaped through the door marked exit. You rush after him, or do you proceed with trepidation? I might well just rush after him. You must enjoy being hit on the head, because the Professor was hiding outside the door, banging you unconscious, and has escaped. Put yourself to your feet and stagger groggily after him. The empty hall stretches out ahead of you. There are running footsteps. Run yourself. You hurry out this last tunnel and into the blessed sun once more, the murky, dangerous lair of the star beast behind you at last. And your quarry has not yet escaped you, for you see his footsteps proceeding ahead of you, across the sand. Follow them, keeping on your guard. The empty desert has now given way to ancient brooding ruins, a city that has been dead millennia, deserted and decaying while the ancestors of mankind were still swinging from trees and scratching fleas. Last Thursday. You think about this, but not too deeply because you're still on the Professor's trail through the jumbled stones. But look! The footsteps end in a hole in the ground. The sand has caved in, and the professor's gone. What can have happened to him? You go close and read the sign carved into the immense block of stone beside the hole. Warning: sand is dangerous here, and there have been cave-ins, and people lost in the caverns below. You could be next. What's that crunching sound? Watch out, you are next. You scramble away, but are too late. The ground falls away, and you drop. You drop and land on a heap of sand, which has sifted through the ruined ceiling. But you are trapped down here. The hole above is too high for you to reach, and the Professor has gone before you. His footsteps lead across the piled sand to the bare floor beyond. There are strange alien devices carved into the walls, still sharp and clear and glowing with a lambent light even after all the millennium have passed. You have no choice, you must go on. There are 2 doors leading from the chamber, one to the east and one to the south. You examine the hard material of the floor carefully, but there is no sign which way your quarry went. You must decide. Another thing, and this isn't important really, just a suggestion that will save your life. Now listen, why don't you grab a bit of pencil you always carry, and scrap a paper. Good. Now, as you go, make a little floor plan. In case you have the wrong way, you can always retrace your steps, and then eventually you can find the exit. If there is an exit, of course. If you reluctantly decide to go east, go to one section. If you wish to equally reluctantly go south, go to the next. Yeah, we're very much going in a linear path, but it's relatively enjoyable so far. Let's see. I can either go south or east. So for a map, I would assume I'm starting in the top corner. Right, if I go east, I go to that one section. If I go south, I go to another. I will go east. Do you see what is carved in that wall? What filthy pigs these creatures were. That's right, avert your eyes. There are some things best not looked at. Look around the room instead. The door behind you leads to the west. Another in front of you leads to the east. Do you go west or do you go east? Well, I must go east because if I go west, I'm going right back to where I started. So, let's go west. A lot of old rusty machines in here. You walk around them and find another exit to the north. Or you can go west. Again, I can't go west. Flickering and ghastly red light, most depressing. Hurry. Westward opening or south opening? I'm going west. The floor here is soft as down. You're tired, you need a rest, but they're not. Hurry north or to the east. Again, I can't go east because east is just going back on myself. So, I must clearly go north. Trapped like a rat. Stop saying eek over and over and draw yourself together. You can still go back to the door that leads south. Yeah. That south way is different to the one I came from. Actually, no, it wasn't. I just put the wrong numbers here, I think. Right, so I need to retrace my steps. So let's retrace all the way back to that first one. Right, instead now I'll go south. Because going east did nothing really good. Great pillars hold up the ceiling, but they are crumbling and old, and at the sound of your footsteps, dust rains down and pieces flake off. You hurry on, trembling with fear lest the roof drop before you pass through this chamber of despair. There's an exit behind you, the one just come from, or one that goes to the east. Well, again I gotta go east. A long rusty chamber filled with nameless objects, the floor covered with cold water through which you wade. It takes you some time to discover this place only has 2 exits, like most of these places do. The way I just came, or way south. Interesting, it's covered in water. A chamber covered in water. Okay. So I go south. As I'm going around in this maze. Anyway, because there's a bit of an introduction to other adventure games, more advanced ones, because you got a bit of everything really. Goodness, what strange animals there are on these walls. Coloured apparently, in motion due to ancient millennial lost silence. As you walk, they appear to run, walk, sit, eat, snap, and other interesting things. But you not be distracted. You push on until you determine that the animal room has 3 exits. I'm more interested now. I can go north, the way I came. I can go west. Or I can go east. I will go west. This must have been the aliens' cold storage locker, for it is cold and dark and filled with large frozen forms. Could this be frozen meat for their alien dindins? Kept safe here for millennia? You're not hungry enough or warm enough to find out. Besides, how do you know how to eat something the size of a Tyrannosaurus? Your feet are frozen, your hands are so numb that they are onto blocks of ice. You carry on until you determine the exit west, east, or south. Well, west is a new one. So south. I'm going to go south. Can this be the end? You're trapped in a strange and hideous substance that clings and claws like deadly fingers of long-lost love. Yes, alright, I'll save the saccharine smiles for another time. I can only look on at your silent struggle as you manage to reach the only exit, north. Oh, what a persevering devil you are. You crawl through the crack in the crumbling wall and are outside the ruins at last. Behind you there's rumbling crunch as all the ceilings fall in. And about time too. You turn your back on the now vanished millennium-old ruins and follow the running footsteps of your quarry, my professor. Yeah, am I going to get sidetracked by something else again? Those footsteps lead over a hill and on a paved road. Onto a paved road beyond. But which way did he go? There is no one here to ask and no way for you to tell. So now the time's come to use a complicated device of the apathetic bipolar determinator, the wondrous APB, or coin if you insist on calling it. Flip it. Watch it. It's standing on its edge. Let's try again. Great. I finally got a heads! That's only because I dropped it. But still, I dropped it and it landed on head, so... Okay. I'm actually confused. Yeah, there's a mistake here. Okay, yeah, this slot was okay. I think this is the right one. Along the road, very lonely, not a soul in sight. Wind keening through the branches of the leafless trees, like the ghosts of drowned sailors. Ahead, a deep chasm spanned by a long bridge. Or rather, it used to be spanned by this crummy second-rate bridge, which has now collapsed in the middle. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. It is obvious to me, or to a retarded child for that matter, that your quarry did not come this way. About face and go to another way and pick up his trail. Hurrying along, you come to a group of trees and you see a man armed with a brass-bound club strolling towards you. You can move quickly when you want. Off the road and into the corpse, before he reaches you, you have whisked out your knife and whittled yourself a stout walking staff. Very smart. Only I would get the knife out of sight as well. As the evil-looking customer looms close, you must make up your mind. Asking for information, or choose to ignore him. I'm gonna choose... I'm gonna try information, because I'm an idiot. And why should I do a scrawny punk like you a favour? The thug growls in a voice deep as an underground sewer. Suppose that one too. I should beat you up, but I'm tired after 2 murders in one day. You may buy your information and your life for the special week-only bargain of 1 silver coin. Discretion being the better part of valour, and you are also tired from your recent strenuous adventures in the underground city, you smile and pay up. Suspicious as ever, this creature bites the coin, then points. He went that way. I saw him grabbed by the press gang for the arena. Before you can ask him what in Bow is he talking about, he screams horribly and runs off. You have no recourse but to go that way. You are in trouble. For as you walk, you become aware of footsteps on the pavement behind you. Knowing this can mean no good, you walk faster. This proves to be a good idea, until you also hear the footsteps on the road ahead. Before you can dart into the trees, the thugs appear behind you and in front of you. You have very little choice this time. You can run into the woods in the hope that you can escape them, or stay and fight. I'm going to stay and fight. Strong as you are, brave as you are, and as tired as you are, the outcome is not in doubt. They swarm all over you and batter you to the ground. When your head stops reeling, you realise that your hands are tied behind your back. What a predicament. Surrounded by rough thugs and guttural oaths. You are off to the next section. What a walk. A hot day, a rough road, the ropes on your wrists chafe and hurt. Really rough. The thug who is tied in front of you pulls on the rope. The mug behind walks on your heels. This is really bad. So don't swear at me. I didn't get you into this fix. I know that my suffering is at a long distance. Yes, I do sympathise with you. I'll punch your TS card any time. But look, the little parade is stopping. You drop by the roadside with the others, and hark, the rough-looking type who is tied to the rope in front of you is talking. I hope you have prayed your last prayer to whoever disgusting gods you pray to, because your life is soon to end, filthy one. Filthy one. He's some example to talk. Potting the kettle and so forth. But you're right. Ignore the insult and query him as to what the hell he's talking about. I'm talking about the arena of Sadie the Statistic, from where no man emerges alive. You've been under a rock or something all your life that you've never heard of Sadie? Oh, you just arrived on this planet. Bad luck. What do? You get sent to this dump of a prison planet. Oh, multiple murderers with an atomic chainsaw. Well done, a little white lie always works wonders. See how he moves away uneasily. You have taught him a bit of respect. Now when he resumes talking, there's a little more humble tone in his voice. Well, you see, sir, Sadie the Sadistic is a real mean one. She's the head of this gang, the Sons of Sadism, that rule the entire area with fear and violence. She rules them with an iron fist and spiked boots. Oh, they walk in fear of her, they do. Spike marks all over their backs. We all do. In order to keep her terrible ruffians happy, she entertains them with beer and circuses. Nobbled that bit from the old Romans, only changed bread for beer. Kept the arena though, and the games, and that's where we're going now. Even as your new friend finishes speaking, he is kicked to his feet, while you jump to yours before the boot arrives. On you march and onwards, until at last a gloomy building appears ahead. Through the gaping portal your band of slaves go, into a cavernous room lit by the flickering light of flame worms. The portal slams shut behind you, and your bonds are cut away. But there can be no escape, for your little mob is surrounded by heavily armed guards. A sneering fat swine of a slave trader mounts an empty barrel and speaks. Silence! O you slaves who are lower than the snake's belly! Silence! Let it be known that you are here to serve our gracious leader, fine woman that she is, Sadie the Sadistic. At the mention of this name, a chorus of groans goes up from the captives, and you groan along with the rest. Then yipe like the rest when the slavers lash out with their whips. Silence, swine! You are here to fight in the arena, and will undoubtedly die there. 99.999 of you slaves do snuff it in there. But die happy, for you have served a noble cause. Now you will choose how you will enter the arena. Go, and I mean quickly, through that door. Yeah, again we're having a very simple, you're going specifically one route and that is it. Here you are in a dusty room with 4 doors on the far wall, numbered, as even you can see, with the numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4. Behind you a sickeningly familiar voice booms out. Now choose, you swinish slaves, choose your destiny. Pick a door and enter it, and see how lucky you have been. But you cannot enter door 4 until you have fought 2 times in the arena and have survived, so choose between the other 3. Well, don't ask me. I don't know where the doors lead to any more than you do. The instructions seem simple enough. If you like door 1, then proceed to that one place. If door 2 meets your fancy, go to another place. Whoever you think door 3 is the winner, go laughing into that one. Which leaves your only other choice, door 4, which you cannot enter now. So basically I get to pick doors 1, 2 or 3. I might as well go to door 1, as that's the first door, and might as well. Right. The door closes behind you with a sickening thud. There is no way back. You can stop tearing at it with your fingernails now. That's it. Stand tall, stand proud. Accept your fate like a true field agent of the Special Corps. And I heard that, muttering insults about me, your only friend, won't help at all. Hark, footsteps approaching. Another brute in human form steps from the darkness. He has a shield on his right arm and waves a sword that he is carrying in his right hand. And there is a net over his left arm. He carries a trident-like spear in that hand as well. He speaks. Lowly worm, you're about to do battle in the arena for the greater glory of Sadie the Sadistic and her bank account. Long may it grow. Choose your weapons now. If it is a trident and net you wish to take, go to one bit. If you prefer a buckler and short sword, go to another one. I never quite understood the buckler. I mean, I know it's a kind of small shield, but buckler? Yeah, never understood the name. Actually, I won. Nah, I got no idea. It's probably from the same root word as buckle, so it'd be like protector and captain, but yeah, never quite understood that. Let's see. Trident and nets. Well, I don't think it makes much difference. Trident net is more of a range weapon. The idea is you net them and then you poke them with a trident, which is not. Buckle and sword is generally a better thing to pick, I think. You slip the shield over your left arm and seize the sword with your right hand. Are you ready? You better be, because the door before you is grinding open. Sunshine floods in. You straighten your back and march proudly to the next section, which says, the crowd roars hoarsely above, screaming obscenities and throwing beer bottles, but you ignore them. Have eyes only for your opponent. He is burly, ugly, well-muscled, scar-covered, unwashed, and carrying a net over his left arm. More important, he has an ugly trident on his right hand, which he lifts above his head as he roars a battle cry. He attacks, rushing at you, net swinging. Then just stand there shivering, do something. That's it. Fight. Fight is only a fighter of the Special Corps can fight. If you try to cut his net, turn to one page, or if you prefer to dodge out of the way and have a try with your shield and sword, rush another one. Well, yeah, you can try to cut the net, but that'd be a bad idea because the sword, the average sword isn't very sharp. It's mostly, well, it depends on what kind of sword you go by. If you go for something like Japanese, say like katana, or well, we'll just say katana because there's a few different types in there. The net blades are quite sharp. They're really small and they're multiply bent over. When you do the metal, you're heating up and that, and you fold the metal, and yeah, they're designed for more slashing action. If you go for something like a British short sword, that is generally a lot heavier, and go for a British longsword there, because again, they're generally got a bit of weight to them. They're not amazingly sharp because they don't need to, because you swing, the weight pushes you right through the body. They're a lot better ones to hang out. I mean, a lot of people think, oh, shiny sword, got to be sharp, and realistically, a lot of swords weren't sharp, unless it depends what the sword was used for. Yeah. I mean, a lot of swords like katana were only sharp on the one side, and a lot of depending on what they were doing, if they're out in the middle of a battlefield, you would slash. If you were just like heading towards the peace period after the huge wars, where Japan's under the shogunate and that kind of thing, started to have a lot of peace, and a lot of the samurai, which were now basically becoming unemployed. And a skilled samurai would generally not need to use the sharp end of his sword to deal with a lot of fights. Don't kill unless you really have to or that, but yeah, it depends on the cards. If you want to understand the honor system, or Bushido itself, it is very complex. Yeah, it's very, very complex. I mean, you know the code of chivalry, which is something you had in European for a while, and people seem to think chivalry was, oh, they're so nice and honourable people, and they're so nice and kind. No. Chivalry defined your relation to others in certain ways. The most well-known example, I'd say, is, oh, look, there is a lady all alone. I will help her, I will escort her, I'll be kind. That's chivalry, that's fine. Oh, look, there's a lady, she's with another knight. I will battle the other knight. Once I defeat him, I win the lady. And do whatever the hell I like to her. Yeah. And people say chivalry is dead. I think it kind of should be at times. Anyway, if I try to cut the net, I'm not going to be able to cut through every single piece of that net. So that's going to be a bad idea. I'd rather dodge out the way and then use a shield, which you bash into him, and then swing the sword in. Well done. You've dodged his net, hit him with your shield, and sent him crashing to the ground. Instantly you're upon him. You stand on his back while he writhes beneath you, and raise your sword high to plunge into his back. Should you? You look at the royal box for a sign from Sadie the Sadistic. She raises her arm slowly, and slowly you turn to the next section. Yeah, that reminded me of again, one huge mistake done with Roman times. It's like, oh, if it's thumb down, you kill them. If it's thumb up, you spare them. No, if it's thumb up, you kill them with a downward slash. If it's thumb down, sorry. If it's thumb up, you kill them with an upward slash. They were not exactly nice people. They wanted you to kill them in the end anyway. They weren't going to say, oh, save it. If they wanted you to not kill them, they'll do it in a bigger way. It wouldn't be thumb motion. Plus, at times, look how far away the Emperor's box was. You think you're going to see it from where you are? Nah. The big gestures trying to show, they would pretty much say how to kill him. Anyway, she's not being too sadistic this time, for she raises her thumb. Thumbs up, and the crowd cheers wildly. Even as you appreciate her good sportsmanship, you bow in her direction. Give the prostrate body a last kick to show who won, and majestically turn to the next section. You have returned to the room with 4 doors, having survived the perils of one door. You won't try the same door again. Now choose between the others. You will remember door 1, door 2, door 3. While door 4, but can only enter there if you've been to the arena twice. Haven't been in the arena twice now, so I'll try to do door 2. You're in a room with 2 doors leading from it, and you hear the roar of the crowd from the arena behind. An old man stands quivering before you. Hark, for he speaks. You who are about to die, I salute you. I think I can remember that. Yeah, it's something like Moritori Tel Salutant? Yeah, Moritori. Oh, the Moritori is die, death, you, right? It's one of the things, and then it's salutant, is as opposed to salute. My Latin is. I went to a theatre school. I didn't teach Latin. In fact, I learnt French and Spanish. I was not interested in Spanish, and I was not interested in French. I only really took the French for GCSE because I've been doing French since primary school and had the best bet of getting anything on it. I think I just about passed, and that's mostly on the written. See, the languages that would be useful for me, the one I'd better to learn, were the Japanese and Latin. Wouldn't teach them. So I'm be self-taught, and I'm not taught well enough. I can do the basics. I mean, I can go to Japan, I can say hello, I can introduce myself, I can get laughed at for being bloody polite. Because the standard Japanese you learn when you're not Japanese is overly polite. And trying to work out, it's a lot of times you'll be talking quite a polite version of it, and they'll think it's a bit funny the way you're speaking it. In the same way, it's like trying to get the old joke about people picking pigeon English and stuff like that. It's yeah, and it's one of these things. Anyway, Latin would be more useful because a lot of English is based on Latin. Well, Latin and 2 forms of German, mostly. But there, anyway. Actually, this is side comments. Right. Let's see. I walk through this door. You're about to die, right? It is a noble thing to die for the sons of sadism. I would do it myself, but I am not feeling very noble today. You have noticed one of these doors has lions written on it, while the other is inscribed wolves. The choice is yours. You may pick either one. Why do you laugh so hysterically, young warrior? Oh, you don't think much of going into the arena empty-handed? Well, here is the only weapon that I have, and it is yours. From under his patched and filthy robe, he takes a large feather and hands it to you. You take it, too shocked to do otherwise. You examine the feather, but it's just a feather. When you look up, the ulster is gone. Well, no point in hanging about here. If it's lions you want, choose that way. Or if it's wolves, march the other way. I'm actually going to go for lions. Because, well, you can better fun with wolves. But at the end of the day, a lion, it's a giant cat. You get a feather and start playing with a cat, it is going to be playful. Yeah, very playful. Right, proceed to, right near the beginning of the book. What a sight! Blue sky above, red stained yellow sand below. Are the red stains blood? I couldn't say. Best not to think about. Listen to the roar of the crowd. I wonder what they are so excited about. Oh yes, I see now. A great lion has just entered the arena through a little door. It roars and yawns, looks about and sees you. It seems to be smiling. And yes, it is coming this way. You raise the feather. Not really the best weapons. It stands before you and roars again. Its breath washes over you with a fetid wave. It approaches. If you feel like tickling it with a feather will make it laugh and not eat you, goes one bit. If you jump aside and leap when it seems preferable, goes another one. I'm going to try to tickle it, just for the fun of it. Because chances are it will loop back on this if I'm wrong. But and here's a nice little picture of a lion that looks like it's kind of an exploded lion. Oh, it's quite interesting, this book. I haven't really commented on it much because there's not a lot of it, but there's a few big pages. Yeah, it shows the arena. And the lion, yeah, it's a nice lion. There's some tiger stripes on it and slightly exploded look, like it's radiating a lot of light from it. But it's a size, it's engine. Yeah. Yes, I agree. Tickling it wasn't the greatest idea. The great ugly creature simply brushed you aside. But at least it didn't bite you or maul you. Here it comes again. You jump aside so it misses you and jump to the right. Rather, jump right to the next section. The creature missed again. I agree, it is a little clumsy, but all it needs is one crunch of those mighty jaws and you've had it. You're going to do what? Stare it down? Prove that human beings can master the creatures of the forest with steely gaze and power of will? Okay, creatures of the forest. It's a lion. Not really known for being in forests. Mostly lions are known for being in big open plains and savannas and stuff. Yeah, I think you're getting a bit confused with a tiger. Tigers are the more forest ones. Panthers. Are panthers actually tigers? No, of course not. Panthers are leopards. Yeah, it's really weird. If I remember, panther, say like a black panther, is Panthera paradus. The jaguar being Panthera onca, and I think the black panther, yeah, is the blue one, but it's a kind of leopard. And the leopard, yeah, it's also really weird. No, leopard is Panther pardus. So that's it. Point. Leopard is a creature. Its genius name is Panthera pardus. And then all the panthers are actually just different coloured versions of leopards, but the names are still Panthera. It's really weird. I think the panthers were found first, named, and then they realised, oh, they're actually leopards. It gets confusing. The scientific names are all over the place. I don't like people that say, oh, the Latin name. No, a lot of scientific names aren't Latin, they're pseudo-Latin. But anyway. Otherwise, you wouldn't have creatures like David Attenborough, or whatever it's called. Not a big fan of Attenborough. But anyway. Yep, it's not a jungle creature, the tiger, the lion, so. Anyway. That was a really great idea. Good luck, for here it comes again. Raging and teeming up in the sand, teeth gleaming in the fitful sunshine, closer and closer. You stand your ground, fixing it with your firm gaze, and still standing and staring, proceed to the next section. Rattling rocket ships, I can't believe it, it worked. The Lord of the Jungle has curled up at your feet, and is licking your hand. You have reason to be proud. The crowd goes wild with an applause, because they have never seen anything like this before. That's it, take a bow, wipe the lion spit off your shirt at the same time. Smiling and bowing, and giving the lion a last friendly pat, you proceed with great dignity to the next section. See, again, lion is the Lord of the Jungle. One thing, it doesn't live in the jungle, and two, lions. Well, even for a cat, a lion is a bit of a pain. I mean, for a long time, people thought lion was a proud, majestic thing. At dawn, you see them eat these kill sites, where the nasty hyenas were slinking around the outside. Then, when people started actually studying them properly, they realised the hyenas brought down the kill. Then the big, powerful lion came in, pushed them away, and nicked it, leaving them only the remnants of their hard work. I mean, some lions do attack and kill things, but on the whole, the lion was not the most noblest and nicest of creatures. It's permanently lazy. But hyenas would never be liked by people. I mean, they're really ugly, and the noise they make, it's just people against them. It's a bit of a shame because they're really quite interesting creatures. Anyway, let's turn to this next section, which should be quite interesting because now I've done those two other doors, I can just go for the last one. Yeah, same section before, you've returned to the room with 4 doors. But I've done 2 of them, so now I can just go to the 4th door. Which may be good, maybe bad. Well, it can't be amazingly bad, can it? The door leads to a clean, well-lit room. I agree, quite a change. There's a soft chair beside a table upon which stands an immense fruit bowl. You cough and splutter as saliva fills your mouth. It's been ages since you ate last, and the fruit looks good. When did you eat last? Yeah, a while back. But shouldn't you be careful? It might be a trap, or the fruit might be poisoned or something. I'm sorry, I can't understand what you're saying. You shouldn't talk with your mouth full with fruit like that. You have finished most of the fruit by now, and the floor is littered with rinds and husks. The plant has given you some bad habits. Poaching like that and ignoring my advice are 2 more of those bad habits. A creak of an opening door. You spin around on guard, ready for any horror that might come in. Something approaches you from the darkness and enters. It is... Yes, not quite what you expected. It's a lovely woman in a skin-tight gown, firm of figure and flesh. Have you ever seen her before? Yes, but only from a distance. The rich red lips speak, and you are sure. Welcome, stranger. Welcome. I see by your gaping jaw and bulging eyes that you recognize me. For you saw me earlier in the royal box in the arena. I am Sadie the Sadistic, only ruler of the Sons of Sadism. Which isn't really the right name since half my army are female, but Sons and Daughters of Sadism doesn't have quite the same ring. And we live by terror. You shiver a bit and let your knees quake, since this is obviously expected of you. Sadie nods in approval. I like your style in the arena. I never saw anyone else face down a wild beast like that. Therefore, I am doing you an immense favour of enrolling you in my sadistic army. You ready to join? Remember, it is enrolment or instant death. You have decided to join? Very good. Yeah, you really weren't that much choice there. But it is not a lifetime enrolment. I hear a lot of things, and one thing I heard that you are after the scientific nutcase named Professor Gesselstank. So different pronunciation, isn't it? Yeah. Good for you, and I'll be glad to help you put him out of circulation, but only after you've done a little favour for me. A quick journey through the juicy jungle to a secret temple hidden among the ruins there to find and bring back a great jewel of the jungle. I know that you'll do it, and the animals are rough. I've lost 12 volunteers, but you're number 13, and that is a lucky number. And you have a way with wild animals. Not much choice there, is it? You wisely accept her offer and proceed down the hall after her. Yeah, again, I got a feeling this is not... the review said it's not amazingly great as an adventure game book because you're forced to a quite linear storyline. I think that is the whole point. Harryhausen is basically joking about with the format of an adventure game book. So it's, anyway, okay on. Give this volunteer weapons and armour, Sadie orders, and the minions rush to obey. And the secret map of the juicy jungle that shows the way to the ruins. Yeah, what kind of name is the Juicy Jungle? I don't think I want to know why the jungle is so juicy. She sweeps out regally while all bow and kowtow. It really helps when the boss is on your side. You're given a stainless steel chainmail. Heavy, but it will protect you. A steel helmet with a red feather. Very elegant. And a sword as well as a bow and arrow. A bottle of wine, 2 sandwiches, and a packet of cookies. What more could you possibly need? Off to Screwball Plankton home. Yes, I agree. That reward will be you as soon as we bring home the professor. So wave goodbye to these lackeys, with your head up and walking proudly stamp across the bridge to the jungle. Yeah, when you want to use a bow, one arrow is not very good. And come on, everybody's been a kid with bows and arrow toys, having to try and pick up the arrows after you've thrown them. No. Dark and scary, but that doesn't bother you. Not with your armor and your weapons, and your morale bucked up by the fact that you have already knocked back half a bottle of wine. Not that I'm complaining, mind you, just a friendly comment. Animals rustle on all sides, hidden by the undergrowth. Birds call out sharply from the jungle canopy above, and that's it, move aside sharply, missed it. From time to time they send a little Quaker message down to you. So why are you stopping now, and not tired already? Yeah, I'm pretty sure people know what a Quaker is. If you don't, it is a single hole used for both reproduction and waste management. Humans generally have 2 holes. Birds and some lizards only have 1. And that's all you need to know about Quakers. They get a bit more complex than that, but yeah, don't want to know that. Ah yes, I see the trail has come to a junction, and it now offers you 3 possibilities. Nor is the map of any help, since all the trails seem to go in the right direction, towards the ruins. So the decision's up to you. Do you take the trail to the left? Step smartly that way, centre path, go that way, or while the stony track to the right goes uphill. Well, the map says they all go to the same place, but they're 3 different sections. I'll just go straight forward. Hard work, but you can do it. Stumbling along the trail, but don't stumble off the edge. It's one of these days. You fall all the way to number 7. Yep, you're walking along this cliff and then you suddenly fall. Probably onto one of the previous routes. Down and down the trail winds. Along the hillside above a dismal swamp. Careful of your footing. One slip here and the slimy mud will hold you in its embrace forever. What sound? I didn't hear anything. Ah yes, I do now. A bellowing and snorting. And there is a source, in the mile of water right across your path. What is it? I wouldn't like to say for sure, but it looks very much like a porcupine. Very rare. What do you do now? Your choice. You can skirt it by going uphill, or do you think you can slip past it better by going downhill, or do you want to brave it out, sneak past, but you can peep at the hidden creature from behind the tree? I'll take a little peek at it. Wow, that's what I call really ugly. A hideous cross between a debauched pig and a quill-shedding porcupine. I've never seen anything that repulsive, even after a binge of drinking Alfarian panther sweat. It's wallowing in the mud and making some kind of bubbling noise. Stick closer, behind the next tree, and maybe you'll make out what that sound is. Stop sticking your little ring finger in your ear like that, and shaking your head back and forth. I hear it too. There's nothing wrong with your ears. Yes, correct. Right, the repulsive, ugly creature is singing. Singing in a lovely soprano voice, and singing a love song. And by George, I recognise that tune. I bet you do too. Here, listen closely. Mud, mud, glorious mud, nothing quite like it to muffle a thud. So come with me quickly into the mud thickly, and there we will wallow in glorious mud. I don't know what that tune is, but that's the... It seems to work. Very nice, I suppose. Particularly if you're another porcupine. So what are you going to do? Step forward with your sword raised and frighten the creature out of the way? Alright, if you think that's the best, march nobly to this one section. But it is really a rough looking brute. I suggest, only a suggestion mind you, you can stop laughing, that you sing a duet with the thing. It really is a music lover and it might appreciate a little harmonising. Can't find too much of that in the swamp, can it? Yes, I see you're rolling on the ground and holding your sides. Very repellent it is too. So go fight the thing. Unless you like to sing along with the swine. I can't sing, so I'm going to go singing. Now, wasn't that nice? After a friendly chorus of Going My Way and a rousing stanza or 2 of Old MacDonald Had a Farm, and the melodious rendering of This Little Piggy Went to Market, you two have become stout chums. Look, is that a tear in one porcelain eye? I do believe it is. You have a good mate here. Listen as it rattles its quills, then speaks. Welcome to the wallow, oh melodious stranger. I haven't had a good sing-song like that since I was a pin-cushiony piglet. My dear mother, now departed this vale of tears, taught me to sing. She always told us when we wallow in the wallow that she had not been born a porcupine, but instead had been once human. Would you believe that? She had been a mezzo-soprano and had sung with La Scala, until at a famous debut she had failed to hit C above high C, and the conductor, who was a bit of a demonologist in his spare time, turned her into a porcupine. She got hers back because she tromped him to death and ate him right there and then escaped through the orchestral pit. You believe that, don't you? Good, good, nod your head like a fool. Never argue with a nutty 4-ton porcupine. You do believe it? How sweet. I don't. I think she's just another spiky porker with delusions of grandeur. But there you are. None of us are perfect. Been nice to sing with you. Do stop for a duet any time you're in the jungle. Path goes that way. Yeah, you've been a nice little sing-song with a porcupine. This looks like a nice trail, winding away through the jungle, uphill, down. Jungle sounds on all sides. That sort of thing doesn't frighten you. No siree. You swing your sword swiftly, and whistle through your teeth. Why are you stopping? Oh, I see. Yes, it is fairly obvious now you point that out. A great earthquake has riveted this path with a mighty crack in the ground. Too wide to jump over, too deep to climb. There's not much choice, is there? You don't want to go back? What a waste of time. Yes, I see it now. A faint trail that meanders up the side of the hill. I guess we'll have to mend along with it. The coast is clear. Just jungle outside with a path running close by. You step out carefully and then walk boldly down the path. Proud of yourself, aren't you? Yes, you did it all right. If you forgot about putting the rook to sleep, right, accidents do happen. You make good time, for the path is smooth and straight. While you walk, you plan ahead. Bring the jewel of the jungle to say the sadistic. Find out from her where the Professor Greshenstark is hiding. Grab the old nutter, then back you go. Not bad. I hope it works out that smoothly. I'm getting as fed up with this planet as you are. Yes, not as fed up because I can't feel those bug bites and knocks on the head. Agreed. You stop when you hear a loud clankering and screeching coming from the trail ahead. And it is coming towards you. It doesn't sound too good. If you stand strong and face up to what's coming, march is one section. If you feel discretion is a better part of valor, dive into hide in the jungle. Dive into the jungle. What a sight. A line of robots walks by you, shouting and complaining and crying out. Really crying too, oily tears running down their faces. And they have something to cry about because they are chained together by a chain that runs through the whole of every robot's head. You watch aghast, eyes bulging more than a bit, as they stagger on. 50 of them at least, and behind them comes a robot slave master. A burly brute who holds the end of the chain in one hand while he threatens them with a dangerous looking gun in the other hand. Not only that, he has a whip made of barbed wire in his other hand, with which he whips the robots, so that they scream metal agony. Hang on. Hands the chain in one hand, has a dangerous looking gun in the other hand, and then the whip of barbed wire in his other hand. It's free-handed. Don't be snide. Of course I can count. And yes, I can count to 3. I know I said 3 hands. That's because he has 3 arms. See? 3 arms, right? Watch out. While we were talking, the vicious brute spotted you, and he is raising the gun. Run, fight, do something. Too late. Before you can do anything, he leers through the sights and fires at you point blank. You'll find out what happens to you. You turn to the next picture. You've been hit. You cry out. More in shock than in pain because you've been drenched. The gun is an immense water pistol, and you've been splashed. The brute realizes his mistake. The water pistol's for the robots. If he shoots them with it, they will rust and fall and suffer the hideous fate of turning to junk. The robot slaver drops the gun and reaches for his sword, but too late. Roaring with sudden range, you are upon him, hacking the hangers of his scabbard so it drops to the ground, hacking his suspenders so his trousers drop to the ground as well, pinking him in the derriere with your sword tip so he howls and flees, holding up his trousers as he goes. A wonderful sight. The robots seem to think so too. They flock around you and pat you on the back and say nice things about you, while you pull their chains out through the holes in their heads and free them. A large robot steps forward and kneels before you, seizes you up by the hand and kisses it, getting it all oily. "Oh, good master, you have saved us," the thing declaimed in a decidedly tinny voice. "We had given up all hope until this moment. We have given up all hope until this moment. You see, we are the property of Duke Groan, who was an evil master. He beat us and gave us cheap oil and let our batteries run down and brought second-hand spares, then complained that we were doing second-rate work. Look at the scratches here where he whipped me. Oh, it was so awful we could not take it any more." He is interrupted by a small robot with 6 arms. It flails its arms about like an intoxicated windmill while it talks. "The Duke is a monster. He humiliated us and beat us until we cried. Then he laughed at our misery. So we had to escape. We ran away, but we were caught and condemned to death, and we were being marched to the lake where we were pushed in and rest away forever." At this thought, all the robots begin to wail and cry and fall about. They really are a disgusting bunch of whiners, and you wonder why the Duke didn't junk them years ago. They group around you and splatter with all the oil, and it's time to decide. Do you want to carry on with the metallic junkyard? There may be some wimps, but they're still robots, and you could get some mileage out of them. If you decide to enlist their help, go to one bit. If you want to go alone, go to another. Yeah, I'm gonna take them with me because, yeah, they might be helpful. After much shouting and a few kicks in the can, you get the robot sorted out and march in the right direction. In the lead is the robot who swears he knows where to find Sadie the Sadistic. You hope so too, since you have heard more than enough robot bellyaching. You wonder who made these metal mothers, and just why. Hang on, this is a bit confusing. Why am I looking for Sadie? I'm not looking for Sadie, I'm looking for the jewel, surely. And then to return to the march continues through the afternoon, and the robot pilot swears that you are getting close to Sadie's hangout. You hope he is right. Your feet are getting tired, and the jaw of the jungle is beginning to scratch you where you have hidden it inside your clothes. Okay, some reason I must have found it. I didn't realise I'd found the jewel. Oh, okay, I must have found it. Yeah, probably on the line. I didn't think he said I actually found it. Just looking for it. Okay. Weird. Sudden shouting and robotic pain. Their ranks open up, and you see a hairy giant armed with a club in the path ahead. The creature speaks. "Arg! I am stealing your robot's body. And don't try to stop me. I'm going to work them to death in my cat pudding factory, where we make all the best kinds of dog food." Decisions. Should you help these robots? They mean nothing to you. Or let them off with a lifetime of labour in the K9 Gourmet Works. It's up to you. If you wish to fight for robotic rights, go righteously to the one section. However, if you wish to leave them to the fate that they richly deserve, stroll to another one. Well, I'd like to leave them to their fate in a way, because it's might as well, but at the same time, yeah, I'm heavily armed, and their help. It is sword against club, and a vicious battle indeed. The brute is very strong and parries your thrusts with manic laughter. He then springs in, and a whistling blow strikes the sword from your hand. Is all lost? Should you run away quickly? Or why not call the robots for help? You saved them, they should at least save you. Yeah, I'll call out to them. And I doubt there'll be much help. "Help me," you cry out, and help again. But you look at them clanking cowards. They flee in panic. So much for your worthless tin hides. You turn to flee as well, but it's too late. The great, hairy, unwashed hand seizes you up. You are helpless in the powerful grasp. You writhe, but cannot escape as the brute pours through your clothing, finds the jaw of the jungle. Roaring with happiness, it ties you up with vines stripped from the trees. This is not too good. If you want to find out what happens next, you have to turn to another section. Go ahead. Welcome won't do you any good. And the next section is actually just the immediate next section. Not much happens for the moment. The hairy brute is much taken with the jaw of the jungle and polishes it, and stares at it and chortles a great deal. You writhe against the vines, but they've been tied too tightly. Is this the end? This is the end, the brute says, standing over you and laughing. I am not this hairy by accident, you know. I am the first cousin of Hairy Harry, the killer cannibal, and I share all his disgusting habits, including a taste for lone pig. We only disagree on the manner of preparation. He likes a New England boiled dinner, and I think he has seen too many crappy cartoons of cannibals cooking up explorers in the big black pots. Meat should be roasted, I say. Nor has he been idle while I've been speaking to you, gathering up dried branches and piling them around you, right up to your neck. You gaze out over the pile of kindling as he takes out his Zippo and lights it, laughing hysterically all the time, of course. Is this it? Have you had it? Doomed to be cooked and eaten on a distant planet light years from Earth? Is this your fate? Don't ask me, because you can find out yourself. That's it, use your teeth, because your hands are tied to turn damply to... Next section. Well, what do you know? As the flame comes closer and maniacal laughter blows out, a trident flashes through the air. The brisk wrist is caught between the tins and pinned on the ground, and flames snuffed out. Oh, Harry roars and swears, but before he can free himself, a net falls and envelops him, while hordes of laughing sadists rush out and kick him and tie him up. Sadists? Of course. They are the sons of sadism themselves. You are saved. And right behind them is Sadie the Sadistic herself, who cuts your vines to freeze you. Did you get? Tell me. She begs, and you point proudly to the tree branch where the jewel of the jungle hangs safely. Squealing shrilly, like any young sadist, she pulls it down and spins in a happy circle. You have done it, she exults. And Sadie the Sadistic keeps her word. You shall have your reward. I wonder what it would be. You wonder too. So let us stop this feckless wandering and find out. Sadie surely has a heart of gold, or rather a pocketful. The sadistic business must have been good lately. She shakes 10 gold coins into your greedy palm and points to the horizon. A good day's march in that direction, following the path marked with skulls and broken bones, will bring you to the town of Ennsville. Without a doubt, this is the most disgusting and depraved country seat on the entire planet, where only the totally rejected, unwanted, loathsome, and most repugnant types go. To make the rest of us look like angels, let me tell you. Rumour has it that your potty Professor Greshenstock is held up there and indulging in experiments too foul to mention. Do us all a favour and get him out of there. He gives ordinary criminals a bad name. At this point, one of Sadie's minions rushes up with a basket of roast chickens, and you all tuck in to a greasy feed. While you eat, you think, I hope. You feel very vulnerable with all the gold you have and all the crooks around you, and when no one's looking, you slip 3 of the coins into your left boot. When the ground is littered with bones and bits of skin, you belch jerkily behind your hand and prepare to leave. If you thank Sadie for her kindness, stroll for leisurely. If you want to presume on the hospitality some more, go to another section. Now, do I really want to ask her to help me? She's helped me already. Yeah, I'm just gonna... If they have a choice, they might want to help. I'll ask them to help me. Sadie thinks about your request and nods. You are right, stranger. Those mugs will eat you alive for breakfast. She snaps out orders, and the chest is quickly carried up. She throws it open and points inside. I have a few extra weapons, but not many. Help yourself to one of these. Then split, because being so generous goes against my nature. Now, do I want to take the bow and arrows? Or the Morning Star? Or the bag of smoke bombs? Well, technically probably have a bow and arrow already, but I might not have because it tends to forget what you have because there's no inventory lists you make. Morning Star's nice, but is it a proper Morning Star? See, a Morning Star is a shaft of wood with a spiked ball on the end. A lot of people think a Morning Star is also a flail. No, a flail is a stick with a chain and a ball on the end. It can be a spiked ball or it can be just a round ball. Even if it's spiked, it's not a Morning Star. A Morning Star is the shaft with the ball. Named after the ball being spiked, but it's the whole thing. If it's got a chain, it's a flail. Do I think Harry Harrison knows the difference? I don't know. But I think bows and arrow would be better. I'll take the bows and arrow. Whistling happily and twinging your bowstrings as you go down the broken bone road, kicking the skull along in front of you just for fun. This world has done you no good at all. You're becoming as hardened as the most hardened criminal around. Said he was right. After less than a day's walk, you see the decayed roofs of a town over the next hill, and besides a sign which reads Ennsville, population 467 and decreasing rapidly. As you read the sign, you hear a scream of pain ending with a mortal gurgle, and the sign clicks, and the number now reads 466. It really is a tough place, but you must go on. You start towards the town, then stop as you hear heavy breathing and cursing coming towards you around the bend. When there is heavy breathing and cursing, there's usually someone doing heavy breathing and cursing, you reason. You will face up to the danger, no turning back now. You knock back an arrow on your bowstring and wait expectantly for the next section to appear. You gasp at the apparition that appears. The wonder is breathing heavily. A creature, could it be man? Who knows, stands before you, dressed in the homemade steel armor. From inside the helmet, an echoing voice cries out, "Stand and deliver, stranger, or it is curtains for you," followed by a very dirty laughter. You turn and run, but this geezer is fast on his feet, and clankers around and cuts you off. The bow, you shoot an arrow that splinters on his armor. More wild laughter. You swing with your sword, which breaks in half. I'm sorry, but you've had it. You flee once more, but foul hand sees you. If you wish to learn what cruel fate has in store for you, reluctantly turn to the next section. Ouch. That guy is really rough. He knocks you to the ground where you lie, half stunned. He steals your bow, your remaining arrows, roots through your pockets. The matter transmitter doesn't interest him, but takes everything else you have, including 7 gold coins. And when he is all done, just add insult to injury, he throws you over the nearby cliff and clanks off. But you are not dead yet. You clutch the roots that protect you from the cliff, hanging on for dear life, and only when the fiend has gone do you pull yourself back up with the last of your energy. Don't be too downhearted. You can't win them all. Yes, I understand. It's not all that you are worried about. You would just like to win once in a while. Alright, no point in crying over spilt milk. Time to put the old thinking cap on and count your assets. Very few, aren't they? You still have the matter transmitter, but you can't use that until you have the professor by the hand. No swords, no weapons, your clothing is torn, and there's a hole in the sole of your right shoe. Yes, I do feel sorry for you, but that's not going to get you very far. And your left foot hurts. Do you remember why? Very smart of you to remember. If so, turn to 11. If you don't remember and your brain needs jogging, then better take a look at the one. What I remember isn't that where I put my coins. Money! Gold coins! Hooray! Shake them out and thunder them. They're still warm bulk in your hand. Great. Now what are you going to do with them? Buy information, of course. Very wise. Put a sign up on the town bulletin board offering reward of 3 gold coins for any information leading to the apprehension of one mad scientist named Professor Gakstag. Any person or persons who have information to his whereabouts meet you at dawn at the gallows just outside town. A gruesome venue, but one that should be easy to find. That will do it all right. You should get a lead or 2 that way. You should also get every nutcase and thug on the planet there to bash you on the head. Oh, you thought that as well. How about letting the old stainless steel rat in on the secret? Very wise. You will bury the gold and not say where it is hidden until you found the treasure. It is a good plan, if you can get your informant to go along with it. Where are you going to bury the coins? You won't tell me? Well, you're probably right. I'll find out in any case, since I am watching this adventure through your eyes. I'll control my impatience till we reach the next section. The gallows. Pretty spooky with the wind whistling through the nearby tombstones. An owl calling out, "Whoo, whoo." I don't know who. The first light of dawn on the distant horizon, as you scratch busily with a broken stick right behind the gallows. Very neat. The hole dug, the coins dumped, dirt put back, the ground stamped so it looks like it's never been disturbed. A few leaves and a dead beetle spread neatly over. Well done. Now all you must do is wait for dawn and see who comes. You are tired. You sit down with your back to the gallows. My, but you have guts. To sleep in a spooky place like this. Why? What? Not guts you say, just fatigue? You nod off. And when you awaken, you're on next section. And there's a nice little picture, an upwards point of the gallows. Although, it's a pretty weird gallows because, oh no, it would work, it's just weird. Yeah. Normally the gallows would have a trap door, so it would go through, because if it was a well done gallows, you basically snap your neck. If it's not so well done, you suffocate. I mean, it's a bit like the old day with the Axeman. When, if you know about executions, when you used to have the Axeman, that you put your head in the chopping box, they'll chop your head off. Now, generally, these Axemen didn't always do the best of jobs. So, you have, quite often, your family would pay the Axeman a bit of money, say, to sharpen his axe and to make a decent swing, so that he chops his head off in the minimum amount of blows. Because on the whole, he could probably do it in one blow, but it'd be like 2 or 3 at least. It'd be more painful, so he wants to get it nice and sharp. And yeah, then a bit later they invented something called the guillotine. The idea was it was fairer. Big curvy blade, boom, chop your head off. It was more humane, less painful. Unfortunately, that wasn't necessarily right because the sudden blow, and there hasn't been enough research because there's only a few places that still do capital punishment with guillotining, and you don't really want to. Yeah, not exactly places that you can go and research from there. But there's a bit of research saying that it wasn't actually as fair a way as they thought it was. I think one Axeman, really well-known Axeman, was Jack Ketch. He was, by all accounts, a complete bastard. He was incompetent and also pretty damn sadistic. There is even the crowd would turn against how bad he was at chopping people's heads off and stuff, and he did not have a very nice reputation or anything. If you want to find out about Jack Ketch, it's quite easy to research him. Yeah, he is. Interesting things. Yeah. Anyway, let's see what happens when I wake up. A harsh blow to your head sends you sprawling. You awake, shaking your head dizzily, looking up, and move aside just in time to avoid another blow from the vile fist of a horribly familiar and vile figure. It is Harry, the killer cannibal. You turn to flee, but he seizes you in one Hertzu paw. Can't pronounce that word. And drags you back. He speaks. This is the end for you. Hand over the gold coins, I will eat you on the spot. He gapes hideously in your direction, and a wave of cannibalistic halitosis washes over you, and you see that his teeth are filed to sharp points. They clack in your direction. He pulls you to him, raises your forearm to bite out a chunk. You struggle hopelessly to escape, but cannot. Is this the end? It might be. What do you think? Don't curse at me, I didn't get you into this. You can ponder your fate a while longer, or you can break the suspense by turning swiftly to the next section. Didn't he die? Probably didn't die. There's a heavy chunk, and Hairy Harry lets you go of you, and staggers around holding his head and yelping with pain, and generally feeling sorry for himself. For standing there, still swinging the club which he has bashed Hairy Harry, is an ugly but familiar face. It is your old chum, Aberfnoff the Rejected. Listen, for he speaks. To see you again, dear friend, is always a pleasure, for you are the only one who's ever befriended me. Therefore, I will earn the 3 gold coins by taking you at once to Professor Gerstrank. Before you can take up his offer, he is shouldered aside by a very sexy shoulder, covered by a torn silken dress. It is say the sadistic, but she's not looking too great. Listen, O stranger, to my tale of woe. I have come down in the world, rejected by the sons of sadism after the arena collapsed during a minor earthquake. I walk the roads, penniless in despair. I have a bright future, particularly if I have 3 gold coins at stake. You can trust me, for I freed you, didn't I? I take you to the professor and claim my reward. Before you can make up your mind, there is a shower of leaves from a nearby tree, followed by the heavy thud as Robin Good drops to the ground. Don't listen to that sadistic tart, he calls out. She would steal the pennies from Dead Man's Eye. In fact, that's just how she got the stake to found her mob. Sit with me, kid. Didn't I tell you the truth last time we met? And I'm the only person who knows where the professor is hiding? Actually, I don't think we've met. I think I went different route and never actually met you, so... Yeah, Robin Good, that'd be a parody of Robin Hood, of course, yeah. They all shout at you, and at one another, then scatter as a great horse thuds up and hooves hammer the ground. From his back springs down an elegant figure dressed in chainmail with a gilded codpiece. He removes his helmet and you gaze at noble features of Duke of Groan. And there's a picture of the Duke of Groan. Again, it's that spiky style. It's a picture from downwards. You mostly see him. Again, you see a horse. You see him riding a horse in a suit of armour. Interesting. Begone, varlets, he orders. You're all criminals and liars who pester this honest person. I, who am incredibly rich and don't need gold anyway, will lead the way to Professor, for I wish to remove him from this planet. I need those gold coins not, for I am loaded with guilt. As you can see, I will do the job. With this, they all begin shouting at each other and arguing. which gives you a chance to make up your mind. Duke sure looks rich, so maybe he's not lying. If you want to go with him, jump on the horse behind him and gallop to one section. But then again, you've always had good luck with Abnoff the Rejected. He has saved your life because you're the only person who's never rejected him. Don't start now or you might cry. Also, Robin Good didn't lie to you. If you want to take a chance on this forest hoodlum, bring another one. But you shouldn't consider Harry perhaps as a last resort. Anyone that ill doesn't have to lie. Let him lead you, Professor? Though they still say the sadistic. Once kind to you, now come down in the world. Take that elegant pink hand and let her show you way. Decision is yours. So yeah, I don't think Harry I want to trust. Robin Good, he might not have lied to me. I've never met him. Yeah, wonder how come. Yeah, Abnoff would be interesting because again, yeah, I've been quite lucky and he's quite helpful. But at the same time, he again there are crooks. Now the Duke is not a very nice person. We've heard from the robots and that stuff. I don't really trust the Duke. Although he does look very nice and he's got a cod piece covered in gold. I mean, who the hell does that? Would you trust somebody that walks around with gold? Yeah. Now I'm going to get Abanoff. With a tear in one ugly eye, Abanoff puts his arm around you and leads you away from the watching ruffians. He speaks. Dear friend, I shall be forever grateful to you. The one person in this awful world who has not rejected me. How nice you are. That's it, down this path into the woods. I don't want those beastly criminals to hear what I have to say, because what I have to say is so embarrassing it shames me to speak. See, I blush at the thought, but I've no choice. I must do a naughty to the only person who's ever helped me. Oh dear. As you ponder the meaning of this strange statement, he hurls you to the ground with one mighty hand and raises his club over his head and snarls at you. One chance, and one alone, sucker. Tell me where the gold coins are. You have exactly 2 seconds, or I'll bash your brains in over the green sward. Speak. Rightly enough, you speak. You have no choice. Crowned with happiness, you wrist away. Depressed, you hang your head. Hist. Listen to me, and stop feeling sorry for yourself for one moment. There's one thing I haven't told you about yet. I was saving it for the right moment, and this looks like the moment. While you were under hypnosis, you didn't know that we had hypnotized you, did you? The special corpse does not reveal all its secrets. Anyway, while you were hypnotized, we planted a miniature time machine in the joint in your right index finger. What you have to do is crack your knuckle to energize it. That's it. Don't feel foolish. Pull hard on your finger. As soon as it cracks, you'll go to another section. Pretty fancy, hey? You've zipped back in time and are once more beneath the gallows with the volunteers for your gold coins. What they don't know is that you now know they're a bunch of crooks. Oh, you knew that all the time. But you've been forced into trusting them in your attempt to find the professor. So keep trying, even though you can't trust them. But don't make the same mistake twice. You have zipped back in time because of being too trusting. Don't give any of these crooks a second chance. So choose. I'll remind you what to do. One section, go to ride the Duke, or travel with Abnott, or trot along with Robin Good, or for the disgusting thought you'll find Harry, or the sadistic. And one other bit of advice. I'm sorry I cannot give it to you right now. Your friends await with kind offers of help. You must give them a chance to tell you what they know. Yes, that's right, all 5 of them. Now, don't cheat. No cheats allowed in the corps. Try them out. After you have given every one of them a chance, you can turn to another section. Yeah, so I guess you're going to have to check each one, but I think they're all going to be not very nice. But I've done Avanoff. Yep, and I found out he's iffy. Let's try the Duke, because he's not going to be very nice either. A wise choice, the Duke of Groin says, springing you up on the horse behind him, and galloping off with you down the road with angry cries of the others ringing in your ears. Goodness, what names they're calling you. But you care not, for this caper is almost over. Onwards and onward the great horse gallops until you come to a grassy glade by the banks of a stream. The Duke stops, dismounts, and helps you down. And now the truth, he says, and you do not like the look of his evil grin. You turn to flee, but are too late. He pulls out his sword, knocks you to the ground with the hilt, then puts the point to your throat. He chortles. Took you, didn't I? If you want to know the truth, I am bankrupt. Bust. The bank took away my castle. I got this nag from a renter horse, and I'm behind in the payments. My armor is rusty, and even the gilt of my codpiece is really brass. But you shall restore my fortunes. Where are the gold coins hidden? Speak, or I will lean on the sword, and you will have snuffed it. No, you don't have much choice. The point of the sword sinks into your throat, and you cry out where the coins have been hidden. Duke talks with joy, cuts your bolt with his sword, then gaps away in the great cloud of dust. Is this the end? It sure looks like it. You cough at the dust, seize your wristband, and count your assets, which are 0, and contemplate the future. Nothing. All your weapons are gone. Now the gold. Now the matter transporter won't work without the threats of being present. You're doing forever on this rotten prison planet. Now does the section that says about the time travel bit. Yep. Emphasize. Go back. So I'll now try. I'll try Robin, because he's clearly going to rob me. You're a prince, Robin Good says, taking your arm in the friendliest manner possible and leading you away from the others. They are a lying crew, and you know that you can trust me. Well, normally you can trust me, that is. But not in the matter of gold coins, for which I have the endless lust. Just as the impact of this statement is sinking in, the impact of his fists on the back of your head knocks you to the ground. You roll over and look at his arrows vibrating with the tension of the drawn bow, his fingers slipping from the nooked arrow. Right, you don't need any diagrams to understand this. With a sigh, you tell him where the coins are buried, and he rushes off. Oh, Gloom, you're doomed to spend the rest of your life on this planet. And there's another bit of time to bit. Right. And there is. I knew he'd be no good. So now it's Sadie. Actually, no, I'll try Harry for some reason first. You get exactly what you deserve for trusting the figures repellent Harry the killer cannibal. As soon as you're out of sight of the others, he throws you to the ground and sinks his fangs into your throat. You whisper the coins are buried, hoping that his greed will overpower his appetite. It does. He rushes away, and you sink into a pit of despair. As well you might. Trapped forever on this lonesome planet. Again, the time draw bit. So I'll now try Sadie. Ah, Sadie, you lovely creature. To hold your delicate hand and trip across the grass swathes is a paradise ennowed. Why do we stop in this glade? Why does she smile and look at you so endearingly? What could she have on that lovely mind? What does she hold in those sweet fingers? A razor-sharp knife that she has pulled from some place of concealment. You try to dash it from her hand, but she is a mistress of karate. In an instant you're on the ground, the blade to your throat. Her soft voice whispers in your ear. Talk, sucker, or you'll never speak again. Where is the gold? You speak quickly, for you have no choice. A rustle of silky garments, and she is gone. You sit on the ground, immersed in the sea of gloom. Well, swim to the surface for a second, and hear what I have to say. See, and it's the time travel bit. So, now I've checked each one, and know that they're all lying to me, which is not exactly a surprise. A pretty rough lot, aren't they? You have given each one of them a chance to help you find the professor, and each one of them has betrayed you. There they stand, smirking and simpering, not knowing that you have travelled back through time, after having been betrayed by all of them. You make your excuses. You say that you are going for the gold coins. Don't go away, then walk off whistling through the forest. Then run for it. There's a crashing and loud cries behind you, but you escape. You have done it. Outwit the lot. You will hide here in the forest until dark, then go back and dig up the coins and try another plan. You aren't licked yet. You sleep for a while, and when you awake, the sun is low in the sky. You steal back through the woods, and look, they are gone. Fast as lightning, you dig up the gold and run for it into the forest one last time. But hark! There's a lot of hark in here. You are being followed. Something large and crashing is on your trail, coming even closer. It has arrived. You cannot escape. You turn about and see. You don't know? You'll find out quickly enough as your trembling fingers turn to. What fear possesses you? I can feel your entire body a trembling as the great crashing comes closer. Trees fall and bushes are uprooted as into the clearing comes a giant porcupine. It fixes you one beady eye and speaks. You know, kiddo, you have the capacity for getting into trouble that far surpasses any human being I've ever met. I've been watching you with stunned amazement, your recent adventure into mutual trust and how all the other squishy human beings betray you. And it makes the so-called lower beasts look good. I have something important to tell you, but before I do, you must choose, and choose well. We are going to sing a song, And if you choose correct song, very good thing will happen to you. Choose the wrong song, and death will fly mightily close and seize you in its talons. Now, what's your choice? Do you want to sing Rest in the Bosom of the Sky, or Swing Low, Sweet Porcupine? Boy, some choice. This is too important a decision to be left to chance or science. So, no coins slipping this time. You have to decide by yourself. If you think it's the one about the sky, go to one section. If you think it's far better choice living with Swing Low, you go to another one. I think it's sky. You sing, and oh how you sing, putting your heart and soul into it, for your life may be at stake. And when you are done, you stop for breath. The mighty porcupine shakes its quills at you, rakes the ground with a giant trotter, and bursts out laughing. Ho ho, weak human, you've been the butt of a swinish prank. I was going to help you in any case, but I just want to have one last song with you before you gang away. Your adventure on this disgusting planet is almost at an end. You'll find out how if you turn triumphantly to the next section. With a sudden live moment, 6 tons of porcupine leaps into the air, reverses neatly, lands facing in the opposite direction. You now find yourself facing the ham end of the porcupine. Not the world's most attractive sight either. But before you retreat, the prickly porker called back to you. Most people don't know it, but porcupines have little curly tails just like pigs, without quills on them. You see my most attractive caudal appendage just before you. Grab on, kiddo, because here we go. You seize the tail in both hands, and just in time, with roar and grunt, the porcupine is crashing off through the forest. Branches, twigs, leaves, boulders, everything is tossed aside and flies by as he thunders along. Singing, of course. This is a pretty revolting way of travelling, and you really have had enough of it, and you're about to let go when the creature comes to a sliding halt. There's a sound of human screaming, a voice crying out in terror, and you run quickly past the acre of quills to see what it's all about. Wonderful! The evil Professor Geshenank lies prone and helpless, being crushed into the mud by a giant hoof. He is armed, dangerous, ready to kill you, but can do nothing, for a giant porcupine has him trapped. This is it, old friend, the porcupine says. It is time for good chums to say goodbye. I know that you have a matter transmitter in your pocket, and I know that as soon as you touch the screaming nutcase I put the blocks to, good things will happen. I know you and he will matter transmit the heck out of here, but before you go, let's have one last rendering of the piggish chorus from Die Meisterschweine. And this you do with enthusiasm, for you owe a lot to this old porker. You and he belt out the name of a tune accompanied by background music of Geshelstank's pain cries. Then you are done, and the porcupine lifts its hoofs. The professor grabs for his gun. You grab for him and press the button. To find out how it all comes out, you have to turn at once to... Congratulations, you have done it. You have succeeded where all others have failed. You have captured the professor and brought him safely back to the secret headquarters of the Special Corps. His curses as he is led away by the guards are as sweet as music to your ears. But enough, time has come. Step forward proudly while I pin on the wings of a full field agent of the Special Corps. Blush with pride and hold your head high as you go forth into the world a changed human being, no longer a weak and foolish citizen who sings with porcupine. You have done it. You have won. The end. Well, yeah. Yeah, and as I said earlier, I think that this is a very much a linear story, and it is only a game book as a bit of a joke, just as a way of telling a linear story. And I've got the issue 73 of White Dwarf, and the actual review that was written in that. Yeah. Harryhausen, a talented and able writer, shows his versatility by obviously turning off these qualities for You Can Be the Stainless Steel Rat. £1.95. Whew. Oh, and Grafton used to be Granada. There are no page numbers, but 338 paragraphs. Perhaps that's unfair. He cracks some good jokes, but literary ability seems irrelevant to those game books. Look at the people who usually write them. Playability? Unless you get bored and go to sleep, there's no way to lose, or to escape the linear plot, to which Harrison has merely added decoration, swiftly returning loops. Occasionally you get to toss a coin to find out whether life or death awaits. Heads or tails leads the same paragraph. Guess what it says? Inserted twice by the magic of the word processor. My all-purpose review for such efforts is designed to please the publishers. This one's a real page turner. Yeah. So, he pretty much says it's not very good. And yeah, this is Dave Langford, and I think it's an enjoyable story. As an adventure game book, it is not very good because there's no real game to it. Because no matter what you do, you get in the same place in the end, and the story is linear and you follow it. I think, yeah, I do think that's the point. It is kind of a joke about adventure game books, rather than actually adventure game book itself. Harryhausen was actually known for some of the satire and that kind of humour he's done, so I wouldn't put it past him. But yeah, this actually is taking a bit longer than I thought, probably because each section is cut into very small bits, and then around that met crazy. Though for some reason I did seem to miss all the Robin Good section. I don't know what I did wrong there. Maybe I went the wrong section at some point. But yeah, on the whole, it's a fun, enjoyable story, I think. And yeah, it's not really an adventure game book, but it's officially sold as one, so I accept it as an adventure game book. So that's a bit all I can say now. Bye then.